All right, it says that we are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is time for the Caliber Corner podcast. It looks like I didn't put the proper title in today's video, but we'll go back and fix that later. It is 2021, the gun year in review, and 2022. What is on the way? What's coming our way? We don't know, but we're going to find out. This is episode, I don't know, 205, 206, something like that, season 4. We got a pretty bright and chipper panel joining us this morning, and we're just going to take a look at the firearms that were released this year. Now, I know we're not at the end of the year. We're in October. We still got 2 more months for 2021. But it's between now and basically SHOT Show in January when manufacturers start to tempt us and start dropping at models and start hinting at new models coming out. And, between now and January, we're really going to start to see a lot of new products hitting the floor, especially with, SHOT Show. I think SHOT Show was back last year, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember.
No,
right
SHOT
now.
Show was not.
No, it was like a lie. It was hosted by a lot of YouTube channels. They like the companies got invited in and showed off their products and stuff. Remember, TFB TV did a lot of invites and stuff and showed off a lot of what was coming. There's also a lot of things that have been announced over the last couple of years that we haven't seen yet. I know PSA's got a couple models that haven't come out yet. Now, as for new stuff coming out in 2022, I've only got a few models that I know of that are coming out. Anybody on the YouTube side, if there's something you want us to discuss or any models you want us to check out of any kind of firearm, we can do that. We're going to focus primarily on handguns and rifles for the most part. But if there's something out there, maybe a black powder you want us to look at, or there's some unique firearm that's coming out, let us know and we can definitely check it out. So before we do any of that, let's go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves, and we'll give a shout out to the YouTube side as people start to show up, and we'll go from there. So, Single Shot, are you back? Are you with us, buddy? He said he'd be back in a few minutes. Okay. All right. Squibload, how's everything going this morning? You waking up?
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
Right on, man. Right on. Cool.
I'm gonna be getting on the road here though, so okay. I'm gonna have to jump off. I'll jump back on. If it's not working because I'm mobile, because StreamYard is not mobile friendly, then
It is. I've been running mobile.
Well, it depends on your phone. It depends on what version of Chrome you're running, and it depends on what
it's
OS
just
you're
not
doing.
Mobile friendly. Okay.
It depends on your network connection. We don't need to debate technology this morning, so it's fine. No, don't worry about it, Squib. You be here when you can, and we'll get you if you drop out or whatever. You chime in whenever you feel like it. Okay. I don't think I'll really have anything I'm going to run around the panel, so just chime in when you can, and we'll be good.
All right, we'll do.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. Foos is loose. Hey. Foos, what are you doing this morning? Are you heading off to a competition or what?
No, I'm going to be heading. I just got from the girlfriends, and then I am going to be heading to the range to practice, and then I'm going to take my M1 Grand out a little bit and try to see if it's me or the gun that's not sighted in right. The first couple times I shot it at 50 yards, it's about 8 to 12 inches to the right. I've swapped out loads a little bit. I've called CMP. I've bought some of their ammo. It's not here yet at a very expensive price. But if it doesn't, I have shipping labels and stuff like that to send it back if I can't get it squared away. I bore sighted it a couple days ago, so it should be fairly good. I'm just going to take it to 50 yards. If it's I'm going to be slow and deliberate on it. If I can't get the thing to shoot, I'm going to send it back.
Okay, gotcha. You've tried starting with an absolute zero, like a total re-zero with the sights, because I know it's kind of a beast to sight those things in.
Yeah,
the rear sights and stuff.
I have. Yeah, I put it. I bore sighted. I bought a 30-06 bore sighter. One of the ones that they actually put inside the chamber.
Okay.
Because I thought barrel was bent or bunch of
burr in the barrel or something.
I thought a bunch of different things. Yeah. So I'm gonna take and check it out and try to figure it out and then go from there.
Well, it's all that monster that you drink on the way to the range. You're like shaking the whole time, so you can't hold the gun steady.
Well, I mean, doesn't everyone drink about 5 monsters in a 30-minute drive?
I stopped because it was messing up my videos because I couldn't hold the gun steady. It looks bad on camera when you're throwing shots all over the place. So I only did that one time, and then I learned. So
well, see, you're just using the monster for an excuse.
Yes. No.
Poor shooter.
I shoot. I got nothing to prove. I shoot pretty good groups overall for the most part. If the gun works with me, I'll work with the gun. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
All right.
No, yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, it's good to have you here. Yeah.
I'm gonna train a little bit. I got nationals in about a week and a half. About 2 weeks. So
Cool.
Heading down to Talladega, Alabama.
Nice.
To the CMP range.
Okay. We'll just take your grand down there and drop it off.
I've actually thought about that. I thought about calling, hey, I'm going to be down there.
I'm going to be in town.
I'm actually going to go to.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be not only going to the range. I am actually going to go to their store down there because I may pick up a Type 17 or Mile 17 infield.
Okay.
I've kind of been wanting to get one of those, and I'm like, if I'm down there, might as well.
So that's going to be your new gun purchase for 2021. Yes. Yeah. All right, man. Cool. And also,
my new gun purchase for 2021 was the Howa 1500.
There you go. Get you in a little bit of that long range bolt fun, right? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That I haven't done a whole bunch with.
Okay. Also joining us from the West Coast, we got Calvers 32 Special. Calvers, do you have your coffee? How you doing? It's what, 6:07 a.m. in your neck of the woods right now?
Coffee's still brewing, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, welcome, man. I appreciate having you back on the show. And how you been doing? You staying busy?
Yeah, that's for and deer season's finally over. That particular zone is over, so I was able to join in with you guys this morning.
Cool. Yeah.
I just gotta wait for bear season to open up now.
Oh my gosh.
But, I appreciate you letting me on.
Cool. No, it's good to have you here, man. And feel free to chime in, and we'll go from there. So.
Oh, and that's Foos.
What's that?
Only thing I can think about, a suggestion I can make about the Grand. Make sure your sights didn't go flying off like it did with your competition pistol.
Yeah, I do need to tighten one screw that they suggested I tighten. So I want to do that before I head out. But yeah, that rear sight removing itself from my pistol was interesting.
Fun stuff, huh? Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, do make sure you guys check out Calvers 32 Specials channel. He's got a great channel with lots of content. Foos, on your channel, you've got some shooting footage, right, from competition?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've put up, I've shot 8 majors this year. My 9th one's going to be here at Nationals. I think I have 7 of them up on my YouTube channel from this year.
Okay.
So.
Cool, man.
Yeah, and I started getting the past 3 or 4, I started getting first person video as well. I have a little hack cam that's awesome. So, yeah, so you're like, okay, that's cool. I don't know where all the targets are. I run the stage in third, and then I show first person right afterwards so people could understand what's going on a little bit more and what I'm seeing.
That's cool, though. Kind of gives you, plus as an evaluation tool for yourself, you can go back and watch your video and see how you shot, see if there's anything you can work on next time. Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I'm seeing like a lot of the gun handling stuff that you can't really see from third person. There's some times where I'm not aiming right. Like I'm not aiming at a specific spot on the target. I'm just putting the gun on the target. You could see that. You could see if you pull one over the shoulders, or if you're starting to look away before you pull your first shot, you can see all that stuff. So it's kind of cool.
There we go. Looks like I'm back. I don't know what just happened there. Sorry, guys. Right. I just got taken out. So.
God, I thought I froze for a minute.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened there. So I'm running a really quick fiber connection, guys. It's not easy to keep these connections stable, so I do apologize if anything happens between now and the end of the show. So we'll see what happens, but all right. Okay, so Foos, we'll go ahead and move on to Defense Dad. So Defense Dad, with your intro, how you doing, man? What's going on? I called on you last because I wanted to give you some time to wake up because you just rolled out of bed, right?
I'm actually drinking coffee this morning.
All right. And you got a good channel. You got all kinds of cool footage on it and lots of neat different items that you show off. Give us a little teaser. What's coming up? Is there anything you want to talk about, or do you want to keep it all a secret?
Oh, I got a couple gun reviews I need to get out. I've been kind of lazy last couple weeks. Been really busy at work. So
Well, say you're lazy. I mean, you're working hard. I'd hardly say that's lazy. That's better than a lot of Americans out there. You know,
I've had 1 day off a week for the last 6 months. So.
You know, you got a kid, and you got your priorities. It's been hard for me to get out to the range too. That Revolver video that I made, it was amazing what I had to do to find the 2 hours to go out and film it. It was nuts. But I'm going to go out again today too, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice day today. It's going to be a little hot, but going to take out the Setby C308 and just see how she runs. So
yeah, I got about 6 or 7 guns I haven't reviewed yet. And a bunch of other stuff too. So I got to get back. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. I'm 54 away right now.
Well, just go buy them. That's what most of the other YouTubers do. I mean, that's what the big channels do. They just go out and buy them. You can get like 25 for. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Should I?
Travis, you have to think about this. That C308 probably won't run because it's clean.
That's the problem. So anybody that doesn't know, I bought this C308 from Foos. This is my new gun purchase. Actually, I bought several guns this year, but C308s. I did have a chance to test it with Foos. So if there's any issues at all, what I'm going to mention in my video today is it's going to be operator error or it's going to be ammunition issues. And in terms of operator error, the only time I call myself an operator is when I make an operator error because I'm not an operator. So contrary to popular belief. So anyway. Guys, make sure you check out the channels here. Everybody's doing a great job. We got some really cool channels for you to check out. Lots of great content. Single Shot, are you back with us, buddy? Are you there? Okay, he's still away. He might be making a few phone calls. And give a little shout out to people on the YouTube side. Then we'll give a little love to the sponsors for the channel. Out there, we got 2 Live Moo. We've got E-Rock, the Gun Snob. Gizzard Gary's out there. Kevin Jung is with us. He says coffee is a must. I know I'm on cup number 2, brother. Mike's out there. Let's see. Tacos and French Fries is with us. A-Wag's in the house. Squibblets pulling double duty out there and over here. Black Bear Forge is with us today, too. Midnight Range is saying that pancakes make him fart. I'm sorry to hear that, but I have that problem, too. Kingpin's joining in. And first to join in early this morning, about 30 minutes before kickoff, was M. Gabriel. You can always count on him to be the team captain. Sponsors for today, we've got SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. Make sure you guys take the Interstate 80 exit to go into Lexington, Nebraska. SS Pawn is off to the right. There's a huge sign that looks just like this that says Pawn Shop. You can't miss it. Stop in there, say hello to Stan, pick up a couple firearms, and SS Pawn will take care of your firearms needs. Now, not a channel sponsor, but a very cool company, veteran-owned, American-owned, is rnldisplays.com. This is the more refined way to display your AR-15. Don't think of it as a display. Think of this as finer furniture for your AR-15, right? And they've got a couple different finishes you can get, and you also get a wall mount with it too, so you can use the wooden mag mount to put that up on the wall if you want to. So rnldisplays.com. Make sure you guys check that out. Again, like I said, not a sponsor, but also a very cool company that we like to support. So with that being said, man, am I forgetting anything? I don't know. Again, this video that we're making, the reason why we're talking today and doing this podcast is in the next 3 months, you're going to start to see a lot of models get dropped. You might be sitting there thinking, what else can they possibly come up with, right? We were at a point, every year I make a video where I'll find articles that talk about new guns that are coming out for that year. And we'll go through and look at them and talk about them. And last year's comments on those videos were dominated with, can't find the ammo, not going to pay $50 a box. There's no new, industry innovation right now. And this year, there were a lot of models that came out. We're seeing a lot of variations of the same thing, until we get phasers. I don't think any of us are going to be, pleased, right? I know somebody's making like a rail gun or something that you can pick up that shoots like a 22 projectile or something. But so what we're going to do is just take a look at a couple articles that I referenced back in January and just kind of scroll and look at the weapons that came out, the firearms that came out, and maybe share some comments on it. There's a lot of models that, we've been promised for a couple of years now that I haven't seen, that haven't even hit the shelves yet. PSA's got a couple markets yet that aren't even out yet. And I'll tell you what, there's just a lot of things that are going to be, and a few of them just recently got dropped too. So just want to kind of run this one around the room real quick. Did you guys pick up any new guns this year? Did you get anything that maybe was a new model, anything like that? I'm going to go ahead and just start. I did purchase a Walther PDP from DefenseStat, and I absolutely love it. It's a 5-inch model. When you shake it, it does rattle, and it's kind of interesting. I made a video just because I had people commenting on my cleaning videos and my range videos said, God, mine shakes so bad, or it rattles when you shake it. And I made this video, and it's actually gotten a lot of views. I'm not trying to brag. I didn't really intend for it to get a lot of views, and people are like, oh, you're just creating a bunch of fuss about nothing, and I'm just addressing the concerns of the viewers. And so anyway, mine rattles a little bit, but once you have it full up and you've got it charged, it really doesn't make much noise at all, not much more than, say, my G17. But accuracy on the PDP and comfort when you're shooting it, awesome. It's a little high on the bore axis, but the PDP is a great pistol. You can pick it up in a variety of barrel lengths and sizes. Magazines, thank God, finally back in stock. I've been waiting since I bought the pistol, and the pistol came out in February, I think, of 2021. And magazines have been gone. You couldn't find them anywhere. Or a few people that would have them would try to sell them for $100 a pop. Now you can get them for about $36, $37 a pop. So if you've got the 5-inch PDP, Walther PDP, and I'm probably talking to a minority here, just go to gun.deals and in the search box type in Walther PDP 18-round mags, and all the companies that now have them for sale are going to pop up. So I managed to get 3 magazines at $36 a piece, and then like $15 for shipping. So I mean, that's the best I can do because locally I couldn't find them. So I did get that. Defense Dad and I did buy Rossi RS-22s, and Defense Dad, you can chime in when we get to you about your thoughts on that 22 LR rifle. It's a great rifle. It just came out within the last year or so. I did pick up the 70C308, which wasn't new. I did a lot of AR builds this year, but nothing new and exotic or very unique. And that was pretty much about it. I'm trying to think if I picked up. Oh, and I did buy the Mechanic TP9 SF, which is a fairly new model. I got the all-black model. Liked it. It was a bit heavy, a bit top-heavy, a bit bulky for what it did. Good gun, but I did end up going ahead and I did trade it in on a different firearm. So, all right, running it around the horn here. Foos, did you pick up anything new this year or any new guns this year? Anything that was like a new model, any new CZs or anything like that? You did, didn't you? For the significant other, Foos, what'd you pick up? All right, dude, your robot now, so we'll get your connection back up, and then we'll come back and we'll check on you here when your signal's a little bit better.
He bought the Mr. Roboto cannon.
Yeah, Mr. Roboto. I think there was a CZ, I want to say P10F, but I could be wrong, that you picked up, which is I got a chance to check it out. That was a really nice pistol. Okay. Defense Dad, what about you? What'd you pick up? Did you get anything cool this year?
Oh, God, the whole year?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and throw it out there? Would you anything good that you bought you bought a lot of, you did get some models that were new for 2021, but what did you get? You got the Rossi RS-22.
Oh God, let's see. Where do I start? The Rossi, the VP9L. I bought the PDP first, and I didn't care for it as much, so you own it now.
Yeah.
And I used that money to buy the VP9. I bought a PPQ45 just because. Can't remember if I had my P938 before I don't know. I bought a lot of guns this year.
Okay. Oh yeah, lots of good stuff. Awesome.
I think I average like one a month.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Okay. So picked up a Hala 1500. And then I did forget about that P10F that I bought for the girlfriend. And the reason I forgot about it is because it's hers, it's not mine.
But it's a new model you have some experience with. You've had a chance to shoot it.
I mean, it's not the competition model. It's the same 4.5 inch that's been out for a number of years.
Yeah.
So, that's the only two things I've gotten. Like this year's been a very low gun year.
Mm-hmm. Just lack of interest in new stuff out there. You kind of at a saturation point with me where it's like, well, I've got, one of what I need for every purpose that I have. And I'm happy with new stuff coming out, but there's really nothing that's really, well, there are. I'm looking more at higher end ARs now. Just want to get a bucket list gun possibly, but that's, it's a little bit extreme compared to just what's normally out there in the market.
Well, for me, it's like everything I have or everything that's on my want list. Not want list. Everything that's on my need list I have. I'm going to be shooting the same guns next year in competition I'm shooting this year, so I'm not having to upgrade those. So I don't like. Yeah, I mean, if I was going to shoot a different division next year, I would have already had the guns purchased or, plan on being purchased in the next month or so. But like, all my needs and pretty much my wants are solved. Would I like to upgrade some of my World War II rifles to have a better example of some of that? Yeah, but it's nothing that is, oh my God, I have to have right now.
Yeah, I just don't have this overwhelming desire to just go out and just buy something that's totally got my attention. There's a few that are coming up that might get me this year, but I think about like the dagger. I was so pumped up. I'm like, oh, sub $300, Glock 19 clone. This is going to be great. And then then you didn't see him for like a year, almost a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And now suddenly they're available, and it's like, well, I mean, I've bought a Taurus G3 since then. I've fooled around with a few other pistols. I got the PDP now. It's on some of the companies. I kind of feel like maybe they kind of missed the mark. Like they had an opportunity to really get them out there, but there was production issues we ran into. We had COVID issues, supply issues, and they want to build an inventory and hopefully test the guns quite a bit before they come out. So a lot of what you might have seen, for teasers that we saw at SHOT Show last year, maybe won't be out until this year or later. I know like the PSA, their version of the MP5, we've been waiting for that for almost 3 years now. And they also have another one. I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Jackal or something that looks really cool. I can't remember the name of it, but they've got a cool carbine that was supposed to be coming out too. That's not out yet either. So I think it's because they were kind of focusing on the AKV and the ARV and stuff like that. So
I'm to the point where I kind of, if I buy anything new, I want nicer versions of some of the stuff I already have.
It's weird as you get older, like your priorities start to shift. I'm now like in terms of optics, I'm more about quality and less about just budget. Now I'm more about, I want to get something good that's going to have a good warranty, that's going to have nice clear optics and glass. Once you start to play with higher end optics and glass and red dots, you start to appreciate just the build quality. You feel like you're getting more for your money. Not that there isn't high end junk, because there's high end trash out there you can buy, but you start to look at scopes you normally wouldn't consider or red dots you wouldn't consider. You start to spend a bit more. You just want to treat yourself a bit. I think as a gun owner, we kind of hit that phase where you want to just buy something nice. And some people don't. Some people just go budget all the way across the road. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, and you get to the point where, a lot of us can go several weeks and could shoot every day if they had ammo and not shoot the same gun twice in that period. And then it's like, now if I'm going to buy something else, I want something that's going to be more like a showpiece or it's just...
Yeah.
I don't know if that explains it.
For me, it's like I could go a month and shoot every day and grab a different rifle, but like I want something that, my tac sports that I shoot for competition this year. Like if I want to go shooting, those are the first guns I want to grab because not only do I shoot them in competition, but I just love shooting them. So you want to get a gun that's maybe a little higher quality that can, last without, without high maintenance or whatever, 50, 60, 70,000 rounds. I'm not saying like some of your lower end ones that can't, but you want something a little bit nicer that will last the test of time of your use.
Well, and it's maybe you're looking at some guns to possibly pass on to other family members or pass on, or use something you want to keep it. Because I got a few rifles that I know are going to go to my family when I'm gone. I've got a few that I'm not going to get rid of them. I will take them with me to my last breath, and then my family can enjoy them for their lives. There's rifles like that I own and handguns that I have that's how it's going to be.
It's funny though, because I said what I said, but like if I just want to go shooting and have fun and not film it, I either grab my Ruger Mark I from 1978, or I grab my $450 Rock Island 1911. So I say I want these nicer guns, but literally, if I just want to have fun, it's those two or my Marlin. And I have guns that cost a lot more than that, but I don't grab those for fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll hit the comments here in just a second. Calaveras, what about you? Have you picked up anything fun lately? Did you pick up any new rifles this year? Being in California, I know you've got a more limited roster of availability. So what did you get, Calaveras?
Well, the roster only affects handguns, first of all.
Oh, okay. And I have no idea how California gun laws work. I just know
that's why I was just wanted to mention that. That's true. It's the safe handgun roster.
Real quick, how often do they add new models? Like, will you see a PDP in the next 5 years on the California roster? Or is that up to the manufacturer to do the micro stamping requirements and all that stuff? Or what? I'm
not aware of a new handgun being added to the roster for several years, and with their restrictions of the micro stamping and all the other stuff, the chances of one qualifying to go to be added is low. And with the new law being passed, for every one that is added, three old have to be removed. It's going to start getting whittled down even faster. As for new to me models, at least for this year, I only picked up two. G17, which is obviously a Gen 3, so that's not a new model. The closest thing I have probably to one that most people haven't heard of is the FMK, which is
for my country. Yeah, I had an FC. What was it called? The MC. God, help me out here. What's the? I had one. I have had two actually. Yeah.
9C1 Gen 2.
9C1 Gen 2. Yeah, and I bought them. Those are the ones where you can get them with a Bill of Rights on them, or you can get with different colors and stuff. I had two, and they were cool. I got a pink and black one for my wife, and then I had an all black one. Yeah, and that's those. They were on the roster, right?
Yeah, they're on the roster. They're actually, the company is actually based out of Southern California.
Yeah, I bought one of the first ones when they came out because they were super. Back then, they were like $349, $299. They were not expensive. Now they've got some really higher end models that have come out. And the guy built the factory in California just to prove a point that you can put a brand new gun factory in California and the government can't stop you. That was one of the reasons why the guy made it. And they also make some polymer lowers and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for. I just went with the basic one. Even pricing with 2021 pricing, it was still only like $350 for the base model. For the people that aren't familiar with those, it's essentially a Glock 19 size polymer lower with the steel slide, pistol. The magazine size difference between the FMK and the Glock 19 is less than a 16th of an inch and whatnot. So they're really, really close to each other, just as a baseline for people to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, I can just show you guys real quick. I mean, and since this is on the roster, and since this is because I do have a lot of people that make comments on my videos and say, well, I live in California, so I can't enjoy anything you just got done talking about in this video. And that's, that's unfortunate. The 9C1 G2, this is what it looks like. It's kind of like an H&K Glock kind of hybrid. They come in a variety of colors. You get a lot of accessories with them when you buy them. I mean, mine was fine. I know the pink and black one that we had some going into battery issues, unfortunately. And they've got a couple different triggers that you can get, but mine, the all black one that I bought was fine. And I believe they've got a lifetime warranty on them also. And they've got an elite model. Of course, they've got the red dot cuts, which we're seeing, kind of becoming standard all across the board.
So they're real quick on those triggers. If you live outside of California, then you can choose your trigger, but there's only one of them that is a California approved trigger.
Okay. They've got this limited edition model.
They approve even the triggers as well?
Well, because one of them has a magazine out safety. So that's where you drop the magazine and the gun can't fire. The other, the second trigger, it does not have the magazine out feature. So it's not California legal.
Oh, you have to have the magazine disconnect?
Yes.
Oh, I feel
I don't
bad
like
for
it,
you.
but that's required by the state.
Well, I mean, at least you can get them. I guess that's the most important thing. So, but they're not bad. If you want to support, a startup American company, I mean, this is the company is very adamant about two-way rights, and I do like the fact that you can get them with the Bill of Rights actually on the slide. I think it's a cool idea. A lot of people said, oh, it's just kind of, it's like, yeah, it's kind of looks kind of I don't want to say cheap or whatever, but it's a neat option. They've got all kinds of pro-American sayings and stuff molded into the frame, and they've also got a USMC Bulldog edition, is what they call it, a Marine style one that's really cool too. So yeah, so that's one option for you. I might have mentioned FMK last year in my video. I can't remember.
You pick them up. That's if people are concerned, yes, you can. I mean, you can tell it's not a high-end pistol when you pick them up. They shoot true. They function, at least the ammo I've been cycling through. The new current gen versions, I think they've solved a lot of their cycling issues. I was putting like Winchester White Box or something like that through mine, and it cycled just fine.
Yeah.
Just 115 grain, nothing fancy. So just like any handgun, you may find that they can be picky with, they don't like this slug design and this, type of ammo, but they run fine with this kind. They may prefer one bullet weight over another. That's something you can run into with any, handgun. But yeah, it's not going to be, fit, finish, feel is not going to compete with your $1,000 handguns. But
that's not the idea.
But I think for its price point, I think it's quite comfortable.
Our pink and black ones took about. Go ahead. Please.
Sorry, I was just say those inexpensive guns. People have a stigma about them. Like let's use like my G3C for example. they are reliable and they run and they're accurate. As long as, like Caliber says, as long as you, like you and I talked about last night, I found I have to use 124 grain in it, and then because there's like a 3 or 4 inch difference in where it hits on the target between 115 and 124. But you find the right ammo for those inexpensive guns, and it can be you can do really well. I qualified with that, and I was there was only one person in my class that beat me, and you're talking out of 150 rounds, I only had like a 3-inch hole in the center of the target with. So cheap guns don't have to be, looked down upon by like a lot of people.
Well, a gun like a G3C, it's got its lineage going back to the PT-111 G2 and then some PT-111 Gen 1 even before that. So it's a design that's evolved.
Well, and actually, it was my G2C that I qualified with now.
Okay. But still, the same idea, same kind of core components and build and similar manufacturer.
Well, people turn their nose like I've become good friends with them since then, but my instructor, he gave me a lot of crap and kind of really looked down on that gun. And then he saw how I shot it, and then he shot it, and he's like, and he bought like 3 or 4 of them just to be able to use for students.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the fact you could get them at one point, I know when those PT-111 G2s came out, they were $199. When
I got mine for $175.
Yeah, like in 2016, right after the election, man, you could get a G2C or maybe PT-111 G2 for under. I know they were so cheap. Our family's got 3 or 4 PT-111 G2s, a couple G2Cs, no G3Cs. I had a G3 for a while. I liked it. It's just I've got a habit of buying and selling to bring in new inventory to the channel. But hey, real quick, let's just take a look real quick at the YouTube side and see what our viewers have picked up for new firearms for this year. We've got, let's see, Defense Dad, you said you'd like to pick up a G17 at some point. A Gen 5 is what you're looking at, maybe.
Yeah. Did you read the whole comment?
Yeah, so that we can use it to level out the leg on your kitchen table. Look, I got a G17 Gen 4, and I would trust that thing to the end of time. It's such a good gun, and it's a great gun for beginners at the range, but it's a Glock, so it's going to be subject to criticism from people,
If I'm going to buy a Glock, that's the one I'm going to get. Either that or a G34, but it's got to be Gen 5 because I'm just a pain in the butt. I want the left-hand controls.
I kind of like that P80, which is their recreation of their Gen 1 G17, but they say that the grip texture on it's super slick. I just think it's neat looking. It kind of reminds me of my Gen 2 G20 that I owned back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But go ahead.
Oh, I just said what I really want. My next gun is I'm going to save up for it. Is I really want like a Thompson color case hardened 1911.
Mm-hmm. That'd be sweet. I love color case hardened. Is for me, it's just an automatic must have. That's what I got on my Henry 3030. I love it. Yeah.
Of the 1911s I've seen with that finish, they seem to do I like their finish better than any of the other ones I've seen.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah, that one, it looks more authentic or more antiquated, I guess you could say. It's less striped. It looks less like hasn't really been flamed on. It's more of a tiger stripe style. If you look at the Henrys, there's more of a tiger strike application of the color case hardened finish on the receivers.
Well, and some of them are such a rough finish. And I've held this one, and it's got a nice smooth finish, but it's got it looks really pretty.
With about 1,000.
Yeah. 1,000, 1,100.
You can almost take a 1911, send it off, and get it done professionally for maybe less. I don't know. I'm not sure if they can do it at that point once the gun's been manufactured. Or there's probably somebody who does aftermarket color case hardening for parts. I guarantee there's somebody out there that does it. So, AWAG 1000 says not necessarily gun, but he's got a loophole Mark V HD best scope he's ever bought. Very tough optic. What else is out there? U says 81 LMG or standard. What else is out there? Tommy Gun says he bought a Type 81 and you have to modify it to fit Zentico parts. Now, Tommy Gun's up in Canada, so he's got access to guns that we don't easily have access to, and certain models and types. Or if we want them here, we have to pay a lot more. Ed Like is out there. He goes, I want a Beretta 92X performance model, but costs so much I'd have to sell a kidney. Hey, man, there's always payments. There's always payments. Like Squib says, just put it on the credit card and make payments. Kevin June says, I got a Heritage Arms 22 mag, 22 LR, bird's head grip, and an NAA 22 small 22. Those are fun. Those are really fun. Both are fine additions to my collection. Nothing groundbreaking, though. Yeah, we did see the Heritage Barkeep come out. As we scroll through the models, you'll see some of these popping up. Ed Like says, I picked up a PSA AK-47 with wood furniture. Yeah, I'd consider buying a GF3, GF4, or Gen 5. I know the prices really start to pick up when you do that. Mike says he picked up a Savage 6.5 Creedmoor and getting a 308, thinking about the Security 9. Security 9 is a great handgun. Kingpin out there has one. He showed some videos off on it. It's been a good gun for him. Really fits the hand well. I like it better in the hand than a G19. Now, as for performance and stuff, I don't know if you can compare the Security 9 from Ruger to the G19, but, they're kind of the same form factor. ZU says, I got a CZ97B, and it came with the wrong mags. Okay, that is not good. Let's see. Tulai Boo was out there talking a little smack about the Michigan-Nebraska game that's going to be coming up today, maybe. Nah, he's not talking smack. Cal Versi said you want a Ruger PC carbine in 10mm. That's not out yet. It's not out yet, right? They haven't released one?
No, that's what I'm saying. I would love to, to get my hands on something like that, just because I'm not a huge 9mm guy, but that's if I'm going to have a 16-inch barrel carbine, I want a cartridge that I think takes more advantage of the barrel length.
The High Point 10mm is not on the roster, right? I mean, maybe the original High Point 995 might be on the California roster because I think it was made to be sold in California. That's why it had the 10-round limit with it and the way they designed it the way they did. High Points on your roster I'm sorry, you can't because it's
It's a carbine. That's because it's a 16-inch barrel with the correct overall length. It falls under the rifle category, even though it fires the pistol round.
And they do make it a California compliant model. It's got the paddle grip on it with like the flap on the back of it and stuff. I've seen
a lot of ridiculousness. Yes.
Yeah. But it's out there. But it's out there.
The ergonomics, from what I understand, of the Ruger is a heck of a lot better. So that would be more my preference rather than having a boat paddle that can double as an anchor.
Gotcha.
I'm back.
There we go. All right. So, Single Shot, did you pick up any fun guns this year? Did you buy anything new? Any new guns that came out in 2021 at all, or not? Did you find anything good?
Well, I didn't buy any guns per se, but I got some new calibers on the Encore and Contender. I picked up a 14-inch 41 Magnum barrel with the forend.
Ooh,
I've got that ready to test fire the next time I get back home.
Cool.
And I also picked up a 7mm 08 barrel for the Encore frame.
Yeah.
So we're going to be working with that as well. I got so much stuff going on stuff that I want to do reviews on and accuracy tests and all this other stuff.
That's the thing. We do so much. There's so much emphasis on the new guns. We don't really look at the components or barrels or a lot of the new parts coming out. There's a few companies online that cover, but it seems like you really got to get out there and do some research if you want to see what's new, in terms of aftermarket barrels or aftermarket accessories. Like a lot of it just doesn't get mentioned. People just start to put these things on their firearms and you see them showing up in videos and stuff, but like, hey, you didn't know this company has a new barrel or this company has this new part out or whatnot. So, yeah.
I completed that last AR too. I've got a rifle length barrel, 223 Wild. That's stainless steel. Looks nice. I got a little work to do though. I did put 3 rounds through it after I finished it up the last time I was home to test fire it. Everything seems to be fine. She works pretty well. I got an idea that thing's going to be a tack driver once I get that scope lined up on it.
Yeah. Cool, man. A few more people chiming in on the YouTube side. ZU, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, says, I'm still waiting for the Chiappa Rhino 50 DSX. There you go. And then Pawnee Nation says, what do you think about the Rock Island VRPA 40? We can take a look at that here in a second. And this is one of those things where when you start to look at these, any kind of a semi-auto magazine-fed shotgun or pump action magazine-fed shotgun, there's like just countless choices out there. So this one's made by Arms Corps, which also is part of Rock Island Armory, or it's a Rock Island Armory for that matter, RIA. I would say on something like this, if you buy it, make sure you've got some magazine availability because you'd hate to get it and only be able to use the 2 mags that come with it and then find out that aftermarket mags are like $50 or $60 a piece. What's nice is we're starting to see some standards coming along with some of these guns where they're starting to take Vepr mags or, there's more magazine availability for them. So you might be sold on like a $200 semi-automatic magazine-fed shotgun, right? But then you might not be able to get more magazines for it. And that's kind of a big deal, especially if you really want to keep this thing for self-defense. Now, I would buy this for a couple of reasons. One, because it's not made in Turkey. It's one of the few shotguns that's not, contracted out to Turkish manufacturer. That's a fair price. These are going to be made in the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it looks cool. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? The VRPA 40. We've got a viewer that's kind of curious on it. It'll take up to 3-inch shells. Yeah.
I want their just normal pump action version of that.
Ah, okay. So they do make one also or not?
Yeah, they make a pump. They make a non-mag bed, so tube fed. And I kind of want to put it cheap enough, and I want it. Honestly, I want it because I think it looks cool, and I also want to try my hand at modifying the loading port on a shotgun.
Okay.
And for $150, if I mess it up, I don't care.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I'm not sure what the VRPA 40s cost. Being that they're Rock Island, they might cost a little bit more than some of these unknown Turkish manufacturers that are out there that we're used to seeing, like popping up on the daily deals and stuff on, PSA and whatnot.
No,
and there's also the Typhoon defenses that are out there that cost, $1,000 if you want one.
Now Sarge has that the VR80 or whatever it is.
Okay.
And he put a regular AR stock on it and a Magpul 4-end on it, and he really likes it.
So he was able to modify this and take this rear section off?
Yeah, he was able to take that off and put a normal
really?
He has a Sergeant C4 Defense.
Oh, okay.
So he put just a normal, I think it was just a Magpul and 4-end and stock on it.
Guy almost wants to just Dremel this support off and just have like a hollow bottom and then just Dremel this off and send it down and get rid of this kind of brace or whatever you want to call it, this support. Is it just a buffer tube behind it, like a standard AR buffer tube, or what?
Yeah, I think that's just they designed it to look cool, or maybe I don't know if they have to have that to have
reasons.
Some for compliance for some states or whatever.
Yeah. Cool, man.
But yeah, you should check that video out.
Yeah, I definitely need to check that out. Or if you could put like an A1 style stock on the back, like an M16 style stock or an A2 style, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So I would buy one. I would not hesitate to pick one up because I like Rock Island's firearms, and any Rock Island I've ever owned, I've had a couple of them. They've been solid shooters, and they've got a good warranty, and they've got good stateside support if you need it. So that's something definitely to consider. So
well, that's what my 1911 is, and I really like it.
Yeah, we saw a ton of different models come out this year, especially on those semi-auto shotgun route. There's all these different companies and stuff, and you don't know what to go with. But I'd buy from a known manufacturer, before I purchase one of the off brands, unless it's like an EAA and they've got some support for it and there's mags for it, because European American Armory imports a lot of those. And you hate to get one and then something breaks and you can't get a spring or a part for it, or you got to go through a gunsmith to fix it. So
that's something I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Like whenever you get a firearm, do you look for, hey, if I'm going to shoot this a lot, can I get parts? Can I get extra mags? Can I get all this other stuff for it in case it breaks? Or do or if it breaks, do you just use the warranty and send it in?
Sorry, I laughed because I buy HKs and Walthers, and I can get them, but they're freaking expensive.
Right. Well, the only reason I'm wondering is, like, I've done warranty stuff, but if it's a spring that wears out or a cross pin or something that I know that is consumable, like, I don't warranty that stuff out. Like, whenever my rear sight, like Calaveras was saying, my rear sight breaking and falling, and coming apart, I warranted that, yes. But I was going to, go out and buy one. And then a buddy of mine's like, hey, warranty that, I'll get you a new one. So,
yeah.
But of course, I shoot with about 5 guys that work at CZ. So, and one of them happens to be the head of, deep into the warranty department. So he's already pulling a bunch of stuff for us.
Nice. All right, so guys, why don't we go ahead and let's go ahead and take a look at the year in review.
Wondering.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have an answer on that one.
Yeah, true. I usually don't take much into consideration about parts or warranty. That's your magazines I look at. Mm-hmm. Sometimes depending on what I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. But that's true. I can't say I've ever shot a firearm enough to wear out those consumable parts, so hasn't been a huge consideration for me.
Okay.
For somebody that is a all
right. I was wondering
shooter.
About that.
Yeah. Well, that's something you got to take into consideration. So, and that's the thing too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wear through springs.
Yeah.
I wear through springs. I've broken slide stops. I've, like fiber optics and crap like that. I just wear through that stuff pretty
You're putting a lifetime of wear on one gun. You put a lifetime of wear on a pistol in one season. That's just it. You shoot more than most people ever put on a gun. If you do 10 or 20,000 rounds a year, or more. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and
this year looks like to be about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to go right into
this year looks like to be about 17,000.
Oh my God, that's still a pretty good run, Foos.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start off with this article from ballisticmag.com, and this was an online article that I referenced last year, and seeing what came out. So we did see the proliferation of the PCC carbines coming out there and becoming popular. They've been around for a long time, and honestly, some of these models I have not seen in the store, and I don't have a lot of experience with them. By the way, guys, if anybody makes a comment, those of you that are with me on the panel, let me know, because I'm not looking at the comments right now. I'm just running this entirely on my screen, and then you guys are running in the background. So they do show off the SAR USA 109T semi-auto 9mm. These were fairly expensive, which kind of surprised me, because I kind of use PSA as the budget price standard when it comes to picking up, any kind of a carbine. So, these might be out there. Usually SAR arms are fairly well priced, and I'm not sure what this one went for. But this one we consider now, it's listed as a sub gun. It would be probably sold as a pistol, I'm guessing, just because of the setup on it. Then also, I don't know if this one actually made it into production yet or not. The Magpul Zev FDP 9 folding pistol. I do remember seeing this one being showed off, and I do like the Zev pistols, but you're going to pay a premium for them. But it says with an expected 2022 release. So this is something that should be hitting the market at some point. Now, I don't know if this is going to come out as an SBR or what's going to happen because of the stock on it. Maybe if they somehow adapt it for a brace, it might be something that you can actually pick up.
Hey, Travis.
Yo.
Sorry to interrupt. Did you see Scribbs in the back room?
Oh, he is. Okay, I'll go ahead and let him in real quick. So I've got that tab open. Yeah, I'm just running a single screen right now. I'm just looking at, right now myself, just looking at the article that we're running through real quick on Ballistic Mag. So the Walther PDP, and again, this is the one that I bought. And I bought this one from Defense Dad because you gave me a good price. I do like the ability to mount the optic on it. Although right now you do have to reach out to Walther if you want to get the plate for it. They'll send you one for free for whatever red dot you decide to bolt on it. I've got the 5-inch full-size model with the 18+1 capacity. Grips are incredibly comfortable. I love the texture on the grips. It's interesting because it's aggressive, but it won't be aggressive unless you grip it harder. So it's not like super abrasive when you're wearing it if you have it in a holster or you're just handling it. But when you grip it, it will bite into your hands more, which I really like. It's got kind of this polygon shape. That's kind of interesting. It's a different type of stipple, I guess you could say, or texture.
Well, at least Walther, if you send in that code, they give you the first plate for free.
Yes.
Because HK doesn't. They make you purchase them.
Yep. And on that plate, I don't know if that's plastic or not. That might have been one complaint people had, is it's a plastic adapter plate. I guarantee there's going to be aftermarket companies that will come out with, machine steel plates for mounting those optics. I can almost guarantee that's going to happen, if not already. The only bad thing about it, what's that?
The complaint on those is people think the mounting system isn't going to hold up because there's no lugs in there for it to go into. It's strictly the screws that hold on to it. And some people say that's going to break, and some people say it's just fine.
There's a few YouTube channels that have showed it failing already. Yeah.
Over time, you need the lugs on it to really keep everything on there, unless you want to swap out your screws every month or two. Like,
could you just put a couple drops of Loctite in there, though? Some blue Loctite?
It's not so much that, it's they're worried about the shear strength of the screws.
Yep, that's what it is. Okay. The screws are shearing off. They're becoming weak. Because that's
if you shoot as much as Foos does, you might have to do it every month. But if you shoot as much as most people do, maybe replace those screws once a year or so.
It would be nice to do a 1,000 round durability test on. If anybody wants to send me a case of ammo, we can do it. I'll go buy the optic, and you can give me the ammo, and we'll make it happen.
Well, because the reason they're afraid of that is
going to last.
Yeah, there's a reason they use nails. Well past 1,000. Oh, sorry. I mean, there's a reason they use nails on. Jesus.
Go ahead.
All right. Defense said you talk, and then we'll go ahead and go back to.
Sorry, no.
It's okay, man. Yeah.
It must be a delay.
There's a lag.
I was just saying the reason they're afraid of that because there's a reason they use nails when they build houses rather than screws for the most part, because they can bend back and forth and they have shear strength, whereas screws might hold stuff tighter, but they'll snap off. They don't have much give when it starts to bend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I was going to say is screws will definitely last 1,000 rounds. Will they start to last 5,000, 8,000? No. You really need the lugs. The screws are made to distribute force straight down, not as what Defense Dad said, shearing force. So you need the lugs to take up the forward backward movement of the optic. You know, the optic may be an ounce or two, but an ounce or two moving at 80 or 90 G all suddenly becomes fairly heavy.
That's a good point. And maybe we're going to see some aftermarket like titanium screws that will come out there. You know, that's a possibility. We're going to see some because I mean, if there's any kind of a need for any part, the market's definitely going to feed the need, because that's how it always works in this industry. So I guarantee there's going to be companies that'll be making, you know, higher quality screws you can get for it.
Still a freaking cool gun though.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the dot sights on it with the weapon light on it, I mean, it's awesome. There's no night sights on it. I think they may glow in the dark. I can't remember exactly, but they're not tritium. But it is just accurate as all heck. I mean, it's an awesome. I shoot it better than I shoot my G17. I hate to say it, but it's just more ergonomic in my hand, and I love it. It's a great pistol. They're about $650. They are dropping down in price. You can get one for $549, like say a full size model or any of the models. I'd say go ahead and do it. It's the trigger's amazing on it too.
Well, and so, the only reason I got rid of it is I really liked it, but I didn't like it that much better than my regular PPQs that I already had, and I wanted the VP9.
And the one good thing about the PDP, like I mentioned earlier, mags are finally available for it. All the 18 round mags, like the lower capacity mags, have been out there for a while, and it shares some compatibility with other Walther models. But the 18s were proprietary, I believe, just to the full size model. So I believe so. I mean, I could be wrong, but either way, it didn't matter. If you wanted a PDP 18 round mag, they were nowhere to be found until now. So now you can pick them up for about $40. So enough fanboying on the Walther. We'll go ahead and move on. Then we got the Kel-Tec P50. I really thought the 5.7 round was going to be the cartridge to have over the last 2 years, because Ruger came out with the 5.7, which gave you a 5.7 pistol option for about 2/3 of the cost of the FNs, maybe about half the price of an FN 5.7 pistol. So, but it didn't happen. Of course, we had the ammunition stuff going on, and 5.7 is still nearly $1 a round or something like that when you buy it. Federal stuff might be 80 cents a round. So those 50 round mags turned into some fairly expensive range strips really quick. A lot of people don't care. They've got the money to burn on it, so they'll have fun with it. And I believe this is the official sidearm of Space Force, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what I've seen before. So this one does take the FN P90 magazine, which is really cool. So that's the Kel-Tec P50. I want to say there's $700 or $800 though. And I mean, if you put an optic on it, you could have some fun with it. I don't believe there's a pistol brace for it, but there are options out there, so you can mount a brace on it. So you could keep it as a pistol with a pistol brace on the back and have more stability when you shoot it. And it does have that pick rail in the front also, so if you want to put a light on it, possibly SBR, so you can put on a stock and a vertical foregrip. Yeah.
The 5.7 round doesn't do anything special. Especially with the
in full auto, in full auto with its design and intent. You know, in the operating environment it was meant for, it at close range, it's going to do the job. You know, but who's got that, right? Security
and with
forces,
the ammo
security detail,
and with the ammo it was meant for. The ammo we get is not like, I mean, even ball ammo for any handgun or whatever we have today is not to spec. I mean, a lot of this stuff could be moving a hell of a lot faster.
I hate to say it, but you'd almost be better off going with a short barrel 5.56 and the same form factor and size. You know, if you could pull it off like a really short barrel, you're going to lose a ton of velocity and have a massive concussion and muzzle flash, but it's going to be cheaper to shoot, and it's going to probably have the same effect out to a certain distance, you know. And I have shot the 5.7 round. It is fun. It just feels like a slightly kind of hardier version of a 22 or 22 mag. But again, at $1 a round, you know, it's a cool concept, and I'm sure it'll probably take off, and I'm sure people will buy it. It's got a lot of potential. There's a lot you can do with it, but yeah.
Sorry, it's not going to take off if it hasn't already taken off after being on the market for 8 to 10 years. It's not going to.
No, I meant the Kel-Tec P50 itself, and maybe it'll become more popular, or the Ruger 5.7 will be more popular. The problem with the Kel-Tecs is the availability on those. They do sell out quick. I mean, they've got a demand. I mean, I mean, it's just they do make a lot of guns. I've seen the production facility videos and stuff. They make a lot of guns every day, but there's just the demand. Plus, you're gonna have back order issues. People that are starting to kind of turn around and buy the guns they wanted for the last 2 years. So P50, cool concept. It'd be fun to have one. But again, it's just, you know, I guess you got to kind of think of the intention for it, maybe. Arrow came out with the EPC9. Again, another pistol caliber carbine out there. And let's see, I just have an AKV right now, but I'd like to try one of these and maybe mess around with it a little bit. This one must be set up as an SBR because he's got a regular stock on the back of it. Obviously testing and videos in the company. The Colt Anaconda. Has anybody had a chance to shoot one of these yet from the panel? Colt Anaconda.
Because you don't want none. That song.
So that's a python, not the
Anaconda.
Anaconda.
My gosh. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Dang it. No, I haven't.
Yeah. They're what, about 15? Are they $1,500? Is that what we're looking at right now?
Right about.
I thought that they were more than that. He was talking about it. Was it the last show he was on? He mentioned the price of the Anaconda, and I was kind of shocked by how expensive it was. I'd like to shoot one. I'd like to own one, but I want to say he said something like $4,000 or something crazy.
Yeah, I think that was me. I looked him up on Gunbroker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was that for an older one or is that for a new production? I can't remember what the.
And see, that's just it. I could see somebody paying $4,000 for an
original.
Older,
yeah.
You're gonna have that. It's gonna be built differently. I'm gonna say better, but not a new one. I'm not gonna say a new one is bad. Like, I guess I wouldn't have an issue shooting a new one, especially if it was half that price, versus wanting to shoot the old one but not wanting to scratch it up, right?
Yeah, the new ones I think are $1,800.
I'm looking at them right now. So. It's $1,499.
Wow, they've dropped up because I thought they were about $1,800 when we checked last time. So $1,499. Okay,
that's MSRP for it.
With a 29 Classic or with a Super Red Hawk, then, so it's right in the same price range for the same gun.
That is pretty cool. Real quick, Tommy Gunn out there says thoughts on the Kel-Tec RDB. We'll take a look at that. That's actually been out for a couple of years now. I really did want one, but man, they're just like $900 or $800 if you can find one. It's a very cool looking rifle. Looks like something from Halo. And I'd love to have one like as a pack-in rifle or a travel rifle. And I've had opportunities to buy an RDB, and it's because it's Kel-Tec. That doesn't scare me, but it's just a lot of money for what comes down to just another semi-auto 5.56. And so I can't really justify the purchase, but they're cool. I guess that's enough to justify it. But anyway, back to the Anaconda.
The RDB, is that the Ford ejecting one?
It's the Bullpup that has like an expandable stock on the rear. We can take a look at it here in a little bit. It's their 5.56 like survival rifle that they make. It's mostly polymer and some steel. It's got the flip up front sight on it, and I mean they make different R series rifles too. I think they might do like some 308s also. But yeah, the RDB it's a cool looking rifle. It's pretty sweet. Maybe we can bring it up on this article here in a little bit. Then we got, SIG, as usual, releasing variety. This is a very, very handsome-looking handgun, in my opinion. The P320 AXG Classic. Hogue walnut grip, curved trigger. I've shot P320s before. They're great guns to shoot. You can definitely start to drop some change on them. This one's probably going to run, $700-800, if not more. Maybe $1,000, I don't know. But this one's got the optics cut. And again, the optics cut was the other big thing this year. Everything's coming with an optics cut now. So you got that as an option. Here you go. Defense Ed, you were going to pick up one of these, right? The FN Evolus.
Sure.
Is that right?
Sure.
Lightweight machine gun pattern, chambered in 5.56 and 7.62x51. Oh my God. There you go. Well, you can buy an M243 in semi-auto if you want one. I think they're $6,000 or $7,000 or something. So as an option.
Yeah, my kid doesn't need to go to college or anything.
No, not at all. No, you need to get one of these. You must have one.
So. Send them to Walmart. They'll pay for the college.
Yeah, there you go. We also saw the proliferation of the micro compact 9. Is that what we call it? The compact micro 9s, subcompact micro 9s. We're talking about the P365, which I think kind of started it. Then we got the Hellcat RDP that came out. I had an opportunity to handle one of these. When I purchased my P365, they actually had one in stock, and it was cool. You got the compensator on the front, you've got the red dot on the top. But unfortunately, I can't forgive and forget that easily, so I can't buy anything new. Springfield just as a matter of principle. But if you want to, you go right ahead.
Have you shot a Hellcat?
What's that?
Have you shot a Hellcat?
No, I have not. I'd be willing to rent one and give one a try. I know my dad wants one really bad. I'm telling him if you get one, I'm not going to let you buy one new. So
be glad that you bought the P65.
Really? The Hellcat's not quite as enjoyable to shoot because P365 is fine. It's yeah.
So here's my the politics aside, here's my personal problem. This is just me. Mm-hmm. So if anybody out there wants to get butthurt, go ahead, I guess. But
okay.
In general, I don't care for Springfield firearms. Number one, I think they're butt ugly. And everyone I've shot, they do, and not to sound all trendy, but they have a real high bore axis. So to me, they have a lot more felt recoil or muzzle rise than other things in their same category. I just don't care for them. They're in general. And again, politics aside, it's just a personal preference. Just like I don't really like most of the P320s. I like other SIG guns. I don't like 320s.
Yeah, I'll agree with the butt ugly.
I'm not a fan of 320s.
I'll agree with you on the butt ugly comment on their handguns. Even though they do have some nice looking 1911s, the competition's got equally as nice looking 1911s. Here's the thing: that what I hear from people all the time is, "But I want an M1A. I want an M1A, and Springfield Armory is the only one who makes it." That's not true. Check out a company called Fulton Armory. They've been around a long time, and they make them too. So you don't have to. If you're conflicted between wanting something but not wanting to support a company that doesn't want to support you, you have options. So just wanted to throw that out there.
To me, the look of their handguns is kind of like when you're at the bar and you really want that cute redhead, but you end up going home with the brunette that's got the gimpy leg and the C-section scar. I mean, it's just
that's a good analogy.
Oh man, I guess it's something that men can relate to. So yeah.
I mean, still fun to ride. Just don't.
Oh my god.
Or, so still fun to use. Just don't tell your friends about it.
Does your girlfriend listen to this show, Squib? I might send her a link. I'm just joking, brother. It's all good. Man, so yeah, there's a lot of comments you guys can check out over there. People are talking about Springfield and stuff like that. A couple updates here. We've got, who was it that said that all the P series, the P series SIGs are like locks? They all start to look the same after a while. It says X Adam 1. The RFB AWAG 1000 says is the front eject Kel-Tec. We can maybe look at Kel-Tec's catalog here. Kevin June says for the money, I'd rather go with the Desert Eagle. I think maybe you mean instead of the Anaconda, Kevin. Is that right? Yeah, I've shot a 357 Magnum Desert Eagle and absolutely loved it. But I did have a buddy that had two 44 Mag Desert Eagles, and you can get those also, which would be a lot of fun to kind of play around with. Yeah.
So a buddy of mine in Arkansas had a pair of 50 cal Desert Eagles.
Yeah.
That I akimboed.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. That's fun. But
that 58
cast your own
handful.
Yeah. Well, we also had a 50. He also had a 58 revolver that was spicy meatballs. Let's just say that.
It's like going to the bar and seeing the redhead dancing on the dance floor, but then going home with the. I'm just kidding. Yes.
No.
I got a barrel for the encore frame, 15-inch, and that's 58. That one will definitely get your attention.
The 44 Mag Desert Eagle is like going to the bar, picking up that hot redhead, going home and figure out she has a hotter sister and hotter mom.
Oh my god!
I started something I probably shouldn't have. I'm sorry, man.
Next week on Caliber Corner, we compare the firearms that you buy to the women of your life. So there you go. There you go. This is the spicy cochino edition, which is Spanish for like the tasteless pig episode of Caliber Corner. So
so instead of the 50 semi-auto, I think I'd rather have one of the big bore revolvers. Heck, because you can get those with the with the right company. You can get them in 4570 Government. You can get them in 350 Legend. Now there's a few other ones. That's right. I think I'd rather go that direction than a
500 line ball. 500 line ball. It's almost, the cartridge is almost as big as my index finger.
And I've seen Foos's hands before, and they are huge. So I'm just saying, he's a burly dude, man. He's a bear. So yep.
Yeah, they make that thing in 4570, 450 Marlin, and 3030. PFR.
Ooh. Yeah, Hootie, who, if you guys ever check out Hootie, whose channel over on YouTube, I think he's tested most of those at this point. He's got such a cool collection of those giant revolvers that if you're ever kind of curious what those are like, you check out Hootie Hoo's channel. So yeah, he's got a lot of shooting videos he does. He blows up a lot of watermelons and ballistic tests and blows up clay and stuff, and shoots how many plates can the what do you call it, 500 line ball penetrate through, basically. So
yeah, my buddy hunts with his 500 line ball, and he has it sighted in at 100 yards to take deer with on his property.
Good God. Yeah, I think that would probably work.
Well, I mean, it's a 730 grain projectile, leaving a single action armory at 1,400 feet per second. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Can we
all right.
So the amount of lead in there is larger than a 50 cal BMG.
That's pretty significant.
That's pretty close.
That's gonna have a little bit of kick. That's gonna definitely, you definitely want to handle that one. Maybe just load one in it at a time. My recommendation. So
it's a single action armory. So
all right, back to the guns. What else was new last year? We've got the Manurhin, however you pronounce it, revolvers that are being imported by Beretta. Made over in France. These things just look awesome. You're looking at a couple $1,000s for one, or they $2,500 maybe if you want one.
Wow.
Very cool revolvers. These are maybe used, what is it, by French Special Forces use them, if I'm not mistaken, or French SWAT uses them. 4 and 5 1/4 inch barrels, 357 Magnum chambering. If you go over to Beretta, they talk about them. So this was back in May when Beretta said they were going to start importing these revolvers. I just think they're beautiful. I think they're awesome. And they shoot like a dream. The triggers are just amazing. Now, I've also shot some nice Smith & Wesson revolvers, too, that have just amazing double-action triggers. But when you shoot a good double-action revolver trigger, you're willing to pay for it, because that makes it all worth it, because then you don't have to worry about having the hammer cocked and doing the single-action shots to be accurate. So, so we got the Manurhin revolvers that came out. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing this one. And then we've got more of the micro subcompacts, the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield Plus. Anybody here on the panel have any experience with those at all? Have you had an opportunity to shoot one yet, or any thoughts on it? I build them. I like them.
I think there's some criticism of that, because people think that they really only kind of they're like, well, they just remodeled an old gun they've had forever. That's brilliant, though, because they sold a ton of those, and people who had them, they were compatible with most of the holsters they already had. That was a brilliant marketing move and upping the capacity. I don't personally like shields because they don't fit in my hand very well. But people who complain about them, all they do is make it more. Yeah, they made a gun that everybody loves have more capacity. What's wrong with that?
And if you carry the shield and you want it to fit your hands better, now you have an option with more capacity. I mean, it's great.
You didn't have to buy new holsters or for the most part, unless you had some custom holster. But
did they just extend? Did they just make a longer grip?
Quick question on the shield.
Stack?
It's just slightly wide. They took
semi-double stack.
They took the note from SIG and they made it semi-double stack. But was it 13+1 or is it 12+1?
10+1 or extended 13+1.
So, if you put them side by side, you can barely tell the width difference, but they'll go into the Shield Gen 2 holsters.
Okay, so I guess that makes sense. But that's for because I know one reason the shields were so popular was because of that nice. Slim line of them, they concealed pretty easily.
It's maybe an eighth of an inch wider
on their capacity, and that's for because I use a Shield Gen 2 and 40, and that's one major disadvantage I know with the such a small pistol is capacity, but they conceal easily.
Yeah, they're maybe an eighth of an inch wider, if that, and because I put them both side by side, I'm like, man, they did a good job on this.
Good to know.
Real quick, just want to make reference back to the poll. I'm going to go ahead and end it. You had 4 options. Which firearms interested you the most in 2021? And we've got the Colt Anaconda was 43%. The PSA Dagger was 33%. Probably because they're finally coming out and people want to know more about them. And then the M&P Shield Plus was an 18%, and the Kel-Tec P50 was a not so surprising 5%. So that ends the poll right there. So. Oh man, let's see here. What else we got coming up here? So we got that M&P 9 Shield Plus that's out there. The FN 509 LS Edge. Again, if you're an FN fan, I did have an FN 9C compact that I really liked. I mean, it was a great gun. just a little chunky for daily carry, but I mean, it kind of depends on your form and how you carry. But 509 LS Edge is a little bit extended barrel. You got it's a long slide edition of the 509. You got the low profile optics mounting system. What's that?
Have you seen reviews on that?
No, I have not. Do people like it or not?
They do and they don't. For the amount of money it costs, it's more than I think it actually costs more than like the Q5 match. It's more than the VP9, and the trigger is nowhere near as good from what people are saying.
Yeah, they can get very pricey when you start. I mean, it seems like you can kind of get some decent deals on some FN handguns around, $500-600, roughly $600 to $700, and they start to go down in price quite a bit. As
most people I've seen review them say because I think it costs close to like $1,800 or something like that.
Oh my gosh, that one is that much? I thought it was only maybe about $1,000 gun.
Well, no? It's more than the other competition. They said if they were because it's designed for competition, but almost everybody said they would need to put a better trigger in if they're going to compete with it.
Okay.
Which surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, I thought mine was fine. It was a slightly lighter trigger on my my 9C that I had, and I mean, it's totally different kind of characteristics from say your Glock. I think it has a hinge trigger. Mine had a hinge trigger. It didn't have the dingus on it, which I really liked. Good gun, but you're gonna pay a pretty penny for it. And then if it doesn't include the optic, you're gonna have to add that on there too. So
I guess it's about $1,500.
Oh wow. Okay. So it says upgrades to the barrel, trigger, and slide. Again, I do like their guns. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They're just, like over on the ads, you can see this, you can see some of these tactical models popping up on the side. Now that's the 22 that's coming out, the 22 tactical, which is probably around $500, I'm guessing, maybe. We haven't clicked on that. We might have to take a look at that one. Then we got the Ruger Max 9, which there were some complaints about this, and I carried an EC9S for 3 years and loved it. It was great, but then I moved on to other carry guns and moved over to my P365. The Max 9, I think they rattled and kind of made some noise. People don't like that about them, but being a Ruger, I mean, I've never had any problems with any Rugers I've ever owned. And I don't know, do they make this without the safety, or are they all manual safety models? Do they do a Max 9 without a safety?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. They don't say on the description either, but and I've held one of these before and I really like it. I love the trigger. The EC9S trigger, which is like the LC9 or LC9S trigger, is great. Ruger, it's weird. Like they don't seem to make a lot of models of handguns. If they make a model with the safety, they probably won't make a model without the safety, or if they do, they're going to sell it as an S model and charge more for it. So they've done that quite a few times with other pistols in their catalog. But this one's got the optics cut. You got the fiber optic sights. This one's a 13+1 capacity. What's going to be the Max 9 is going to be based off the it's not the Security 9. It's the EC9S, I think, maybe, or the LC9 with a higher capacity, essentially. They're around $400. I think they're about $450 locally when you find them. So again, that's another one of those small models with higher capacity that they really had to do something to get that marketing out there. So that's why you see all these higher capacity models hitting the market.
The sights on that are phenomenal.
Yeah, is it fiber front, and what's on the rear? Is it like red dot, or is it like orange dots on the rear?
I don't remember, but I remember playing with it in the store, and with my eyesight as bad as it is, I could pick up that front sight like nothing.
Yeah. One good thing about Ruger is magazine availability is generally pretty good from the factory. I know when I had my FN9C, they never had mags for it. I don't even know if they ever made them available. Mine did come with 3. It actually came with 3 different capacities, which later 9Cs only came with 2. Mine had like a flush fit, a slightly extended. Mine had a flush fit, and then the same capacity with a pinky extension. So they gave you those 2 mags, and then they gave you like a 15 or 17 round mag with a longer extension on it. So I actually got 3 with mine when I bought it. I didn't do a video on it because I had gotten rid of it before I started making gun videos on YouTube, but it was fine. It was cool. SIG P320 Max. Has anybody handled one of these before? Are these the ones that have the aluminum frame or not? Or the steel frame? I haven't
seen that one. I thought that was like by Legion.
So P320 Max, it says it's another iteration of the wildly popular P320 line. Inspired by champion shooter Max Michael or Mitchell, the P320 Max comes top of the Romeo 3 Max optic, 22+1 capacity. There you go, Foos. Flat trigger on there. I haven't seen one of those in the store yet. I'm not sure if they've got them in their local sporting goods store or not. So
it looks like an upgraded version of the X5 Legion, which is the only 320 I've ever shot that I actually liked.
Okay. I take one if somebody wants to pick one up. I'd be happy to take one. So Checking out the comments. Hey, we do have a super chat over there. X Adam 1 says, been sick as a dog since Wednesday. Fever finally went down. Not today, death. Not today. Well, X Adam 1, you're with us. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. It's going to be used today when I take the Set Me C308 to the range and put a few rounds down range and have to go pick up some more 308 Winchester when I get done. Not good stuff. Ozzy Orsborn out there says, I picked up a Bond Arms Derringer and 410-45 Colt Monday. I picked up a Rock Island 1911 380 ACP Baby Rock tomorrow. Oh, gonna pick it up tomorrow. Those are cool. The Baby Rocks are great. I did the little short video on one where I had a chance to handle one when they got one in stock at SS Pawn, and I don't think it lasted very long. They sold it pretty quick. So, oh, Tommy Gunn says that Ruger looks like a remake of the P89. I wish they never would have stopped making those. Any of the P series Rugers were just awesome. My dad has one in 45, if I'm not mistaken, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. I think it's just a decocker model, but they made so many different variants of those.
I've got the P5 that I used to carry. I love the pistol.
Dude, I say it. They're like the AK-47 of handguns. They just got some looser tolerances, but they just run through anything. I mean, they're kind of bulky and they're kind of. I mean, but they're awesome. They just fit the hand well, and for the time, in my opinion, they were a fairly advanced pistol when they came out. Yeah.
Now I've got the P85. I've also got the Para Ordnance. I got 3 of the Para Ordnance pistols, 45s, and they've all proven themselves very worthy.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, a lot of people out there chiming in. I've got a P series. Yeah, a lot of guys got those as their first handguns back in the 90s. Anybody that turned 21 back in the 90s, that P series might have been one of the first ones that you bought. Okay, then we got Christensen Arms, which I've had the opportunity to shoot one before, a bolt action, and in 6.5 Creedmoor, I think. And wonderful rifle, great rifle. I mean, they're pricey, but they're fun. This is their modern precision pistol, which is going to be kind of a small kind of takedown carry style. You got a folding stock on it, a lot of carbon fiber bits and doodads. And they make some higher end rifles with some really nice materials. And this one shrinks down to 28.25 inches. I'm assuming that's going to be with the stabilizing brace in the closed position, but you could shoot it without if you wanted to. But lots of opportunities to mount optics on that and a bipod and so on. Be kind of a fun one to play with. I don't know what those cost. They're probably, I'm going to guess, maybe $700 or $800, because the Christensen Arm rifles, you can spend whatever you want on those. But they are very cool, very, very cool. And again, we saw a lot of precision 22s coming out last year also. The Taurus or Taurus, however you want to pronounce it, TX22 competition. We have a TX22. Absolutely love it. Ours has been great. Defense Dad, you've had some mixed experiences with your TX22, right? And they've been out for a couple of years now. See, Defense Dad, you there? No? Guys, you still with me?
I can hear you louder.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second.
Oh, no. That's fine. I just want to make sure the video didn't click. So I'm scrolling. I can never tell if the video got cut or something happened. So
no, I had to get my work shirt out of the dryer.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. So your experience with the TX22, it's been so-so. Has it been a mag issue, or what do you think?
I don't know. I use the loader, and I don't use the loader just to see. And I don't know. It seems to have at least one malfunction every mag or every other mag. It's not always the same. Maybe it's just mine, because I know a lot of people just swear by the reliability on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I use all sorts of different kinds of ammo. But probably I'm gonna say probably every other mag. Realistically, you'll get one that tries to load it and it kinks the casing.
Mm-hmm. And mine's been pretty reliable. Now, does that happen all the time, even with like CCI mini mags through it? I mean, it doesn't matter what the ammo is; it just happens every time.
Well, I don't know if it's happened with CCI. To be honest with you, I save that more for my Mark 1 because it likes it better.
Oh, okay, yeah, and that's kind of hard to find occasionally.
But we run the Federal Aftershock. We run, I guess it's cheaper ammo, but it's supposed to take everything. And I alternate hull points and ball ammo. It's just, I don't mean, maybe it's just mine. And I think I got mine a year into production, so it's not a first production one.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make it, less. It's a 22, so I take that with a little bit of grain of salt. But people say, "Oh, I run thousands of rounds." Never like, BS. It's a 22, but
yeah,
I think mine has more malfunctions than some people let on.
Yeah, my aunt has one and she shoots the heck out of it and hardly ever cleans it. And she never complains about having stoppages or issues. And I'll ask her, I'm like, does it ever malfunction? She's like, no. So maybe think about sanding it in and maybe getting it tuned a little bit. Maybe it's just got some little overmolding or something on the receiver. Maybe it's just a little bit out of spec, or the feed ramps, or, see if they can't do something with it, especially if it's consistently having issues. You've tried different mags on it?
Yeah, well, we've got 2 mags for it.
Yeah.
And like when you and I and John took it out shot, not this summer, but last summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember mine was having issues and John's wasn't? I don't know if you remember that or not, but mine was having stoppages and his wasn't.
We were using the same ammo.
Yeah.
We were pulling them out of we were using shells out of the same box. So I think it was a Federal Auto Match, which usually is a fairly reliable round. At least it is for me. So
I will say with those, you have less malfunctions if you do use the enclosed loader, because the way it loads, it's easy to get it kind of bound up or something if you're just loading it by hand. If you use a loader, it's a lot better.
Yeah. The TX22 has been out for about 2 years now. We bought ours, I think, about a year ago. I can't remember. I did a cleaning video on it shortly after I bought it. Now, your competition model is kind of cool because it has the optics mount. It goes directly on the barrel. So it doesn't actually reciprocate. It stays in one place, and the tolerances are just tight enough that the cycle can slide kind of sort of like a Beretta cut. But again, the optics is on the barrel itself and not on the rear like you would get on some optics cut Beretta 92s that are out there. I'd maybe consider picking one of these up. There's still, if you can get one that's reliable, if it runs well for you, if you have any issues, send it back in, obviously. And Taurus did have a run of bad barrels that they put out when they first came out, with the grooves prematurely wearing out. So if you happen to pick up an older one or a used one, just understand they could have some issues, but they do have a lifetime warranty on them. And Taurus does have, these are manufactured stateside. I believe these are manufactured in the U.S. now, but either way, they've got a location here where you can send your gun off to get it repaired. And defense side, when you got your G3C fixed, what was the whole time? About 4 weeks from start to finish, from the time you sent it off to the time you got it back? 2 weeks?
It was about 6 overall.
6 weeks overall. Okay, so there's going to be, and I've heard horror stories of people waiting like 4 to 6 months to get their gun back from Taurus, which is totally unacceptable, completely unacceptable from a manufacturer, in my opinion, unless there's like parts shortages that are out of their control or labor shortages, which, that doesn't make it easy for a company either.
Well, mine could have been a little sooner too, because they didn't fix mine. They replaced it with a totally new gun.
Yeah. All right, so TX22 competition's looking pretty good. They also came out, I don't know if I'm going to show it on here, but they got the Taurus G3 Toro series, which is their Taurus optics ready pistol that you can get on the full-size G3 and the G3C compact. I'm waiting for those to come out in OD green, and when they do, I'll probably pick one up. But yeah, the Toro series takes the optics mount and puts it on the G3, if you guys are familiar with what I'm talking about. This has my interest. The Savage Impulse. Okay, looks like that's a lefty, unless that's a reverse image. And Savage does a lot of lefty rifles. It's a straight pull bolt action. And so it's going to be very smooth, very fast for follow-up shots. They run about $1,100, I think, or $1,200, but you can get them in 308, variety of calibers. I just think they look cool. They've got like some Predator models, and you can get some with some threaded barrels and so on. Real quick, AWAG did correct me on the price of that Christensen Arms bolt with a carbon fiber, $21.99, I think is what he said the price was. So I was way off on that. They do make a lesser expensive model you can pick up, if I'm not mistaken. That's under $1,000. I know that. I've been wanting to handle one of these impulse rifles for a long time. It's just I haven't seen them in stock yet. So I mean, I've seen them online, like in 6.5 Creedmoor, but I've yet to actually see one in the store, which surprises me because the local Shields here carries a lot of Savage rifles. But I haven't seen this one yet. Yeah.
On the straight pulls like that, how the heck does the bolt lock? And that's for the smaller, lower recoiling rounds, one thing, but I think that impulse rifle is available in like 300 Win mags. That's right. I have to wonder what's keeping that bolt in place.
Because you're looking at what, maybe about a 45-degree throw? Is that what you can get the maximum bolt movement on that before you hit your optics? 45? Does that look about right? Do you think, just kind of looking at the design?
That's from my understanding. There is no bolt throw. That's where it's a straight.
Oh, you're going straight back. I wonder if it has like a rotating mechanism. When you pull back on it, it rotates inside its own, basically its receiver inside its own bolt carrier group. So maybe it has like a rotating design.
Kind of idea.
Yeah. So they probably have it set up to do that. So that'd be the only way that I could think of. You could make it function and not blow up, to seal that kind of pressure. You said 300 Win mag? I didn't realize it came out.
I believe so. That's right. I think I've seen them listed for that.
Okay. This may be one we need to take a look at later on too. I know we've talked about it before, Because when they first announced it, it was thinking, man, that's cool. But they're pricey, but very smooth follow-up shots. And again, looks like a pretty cool design. I'm not sure about the barrel length on those. They probably come like 18 or 20, if I'm not mistaken. And that hits the end of that particular article. Let's just go ahead and stop sharing for a moment. I'll head us over to Kel-Tec real quick, and we can take a look at that RDB and see if Kel-Tec's announced anything new. If you guys can think of anything new that you want to look at, we can definitely check it out or talk about it. I know there's been a lot of other different firearms out there that have been, announced and stuff that's going to be coming out. And there's always a lot of new rifles and stuff that's coming out too. So, all right. So we will go ahead and share real quick. Let's check the comments and see if I'm missing anything. X Adam 1 says, everyone, do you have more handguns or more rifles? Definitely more rifles for me. There was a time when I had quite a few handguns, but I've kind of thinned down to one caliber now for the most part. And I try to keep just a few guns around for specific purposes, and tend to buy more rifles than anything. Done a lot of builds in the last 2 years also. Okay, Kyle Russ says it's a ball bearing lockup on the Savage Impulse. Okay, so that's good to know. It's good to know. Let's see, Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy says I'm going to get that Savage Impulse in 308 next. Yeah, and camo, it just looks awesome. I love that magazine fed bolt action 308s. Just awesome. What else we have out there? The carbon pistol again was $21.99 from Christensen Arms. All right, so let's head over real quick to
Kel-Tec. Dropped into the internal chat the link over to the Savage Arms with their their Impulse. So
we'll go to that one and check it out real quick because I'm really definitely curious about that. So under rifles for Kel-Tec, I don't know if they've necessarily announced anything new. The Sub CQB 9mm suppressed rifle. There you go. That's going to probably require a couple tax stamps, I think, to take that home. You guys seen that yet? That's a Kel-Tec, what is it, the Sub 2000 or whatever? That's going to be, look at that thing. The folding quiet carbine. Has that been out for a while? Have you guys ever seen that before? That's a new one for me. You got your cocking mechanism here in the buffer tube.
Just a Sub 2000 with a built-in suppressor, or what?
Okay, that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah. It is a carbine though, so it is not going to be an SBR. Interesting. Oh, I got your, that's kind of cool. I guess I hadn't seen any videos on that yet. I'm sure it's probably been out there on YouTube a few times. Shows how it folds back for storage. It's got a 16-inch baffled barrel, 4.25 inches of rifling. So it is, it's a very short, basically pistol barrel with the suppressor built into the end of it. Weighs 5.15 pounds, so about as much as a lighter weight AR-15. Cool. So that's new. I guess I hadn't even noticed that before. So Sub CQB. So we've got, let's go to the RDB. I do love the looks of this thing. I just think it's cool. I know it's Kel-Tec and people don't like them sometimes, but so you've got your Bullpup style. And I want to say maybe it's ambi if I'm not mistaken. You do have a stock that actually extends out the back. Oh, no, that's the RDB. I'm thinking of is it the RDB Survival?
Is the RDB, is that eject downwards?
Yeah, I believe it's behind.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Because that's the reason. That's the reason I don't get excited about most Bullpups, because most of them you can't switch the ejection port.
So this says completely ambidextrous due to its patented downward ejection. Yeah. Let's see if I can find the Survival model real quick. And I can't remember if it's the RDB or the RFB or what the heck. Yeah, this may be the one, because I know that some of them have a flip up sight in the front. Here we go. The RDB Survival. I always thought this one just looked cool. I just liked it. I just think it looks neat. Does have a sight that flips up or down in the front, and then the rear, you can put a red dot on it. You do have the little stock that slides out of the back. You've got your magazine down below. So the Survival, and the price on those, I'm usually seeing them for around, MSRP is $11.50. That's basically what you're going to pay for them when you find them in the store. But I mean, it doesn't offer much of an advantage over a small AR. Although you do have a full length barrel, which I think is kind of nice, and it is a more compact design because of the Bullpup design. It does have a 16.1 inch barrel, and the overall length is 26.1 inches. Which I can't remember if there's a minimum length that you have to have for an AR, not counting the barrel, in order for it to not be considered a, let's see here, an SBR. So I'm not sure. But anyway, it gives you a full-length barrel and a fairly compact package. I just think they look cool. And then they've got the Hunter model, just optics only. What's that? Go ahead, Defense.
Oh, sorry, you got Honda in the back room.
Oh, okay. All right, let's bring the man in here. There we go. All right.
Well, hello.
We've got some Honda in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Good morning.
I'm never awake at this time.
7:30. I've been going strong since 5:30 my time, man. How you doing?
Good. I mean, I'm usually at work till like 2 a.m, and I was last night. Well, not quite. I got off at like 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I woke up and I'm awake. So I saw you were live, and I was like, I really like that Travis fellow.
Thank you.
I'd like to come on a show on occasion, but you always do it so early.
It's the one slot that nobody wants.
What gun are we bubbling today?
Honda, you bought. Enlighten us. What have you picked up in the last year for firearms, and what's looking exciting for you this coming year?
Dude,
you picked up a lot of guns.
I picked up a lot in the last year. I don't know.
Give us an idea, man. What are some of the things that you've found so far? What's anything new, like new models that have come out, or are you just doing some surplus or what?
A little bit of every. I got a PS90, a TX22, a 1022 pistol with a binary trigger. What else? Oh, I'm picking up a number 1 Mark III Enfield today. Should be.
Yeah.
Should be there at the shop waiting for me.
The Mosin crate, or who'd you order that from? What was the
Royal Tiger Imports RTI?
Yes. Yeah, with it $349, $399. What was the price on that?
Yeah, $350. So
$350. Okay, and I've read the reviews on them. They do post the reviews, good and bad, for it on their website. And it seems like people are getting a really good deal. Considering that classic one's like $600 for one of those. And,
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. I've kind of wanted some surplus stuff just to get some surplus stuff, because generally speaking, it doesn't go down in value from whatever price you buy it at in the future. It's going to go for at least that. That's
a pretty wise investment. And ammo for that, you can go with 303 British. You've got plenty of ammo options out there. PPU. I can't remember. Do you have a reloading setup?
Just for 38 and 357. That's the only thing I'm set up for.
Get some 303 British dies and some brass, and just start rolling your own. Maybe consider investing in it if you're going to keep it for the long haul. You really want to shoot it a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know how much I want to shoot a lot.
Yeah.
It's more just something to have. Something cool to look at.
It's got a little bit of lineage to it, so
right.
That's right. Cool, man. Now we're just talking about anything that you've seen so far coming up this year that kind of excites you, Honda. Anything that's kind of got you tempted, or are you thinking about maybe picking up a dagger, or looking at anything new that's been announced at all? Or
if it wasn't so expensive, I would already have a CZ Scorpion with a pistol brace and a binary trigger.
Yeah, that would pretty much be it. And so I know that you talk about you've got the help me out here, the Fostech Echo 2.
No, I've got the original.
Original Echo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I bought that. I bought that right away because I figured that that's probably something you won't be able to buy if you don't buy it right. So I'm surprised they're still available, to be honest. But I'll take it.
And I want to say right now, I know that you take a lot of crap for that, because people are like, okay, retro $500 trigger. My stepdad bought a Fostech Eagle with the Echo 2 in it, which it's not the Sport, it's the 2. It's the better of the 2. And man, when you just rock that thing, it is free. It's so much fun. It is awesome. And the potential to steadily shoot that many rounds at your target, I mean, from a defensive standpoint, it is pretty wicked. I mean, it's you do go through the ammo fast, but they are so much fun. And then you just, flip back over to semi when you're ready to. And the Eagle 2, the rifle itself, I don't know if you know much about it, but it's a proprietary aluminum alloy. It is super, super light. It's a weird cast that they make it from. So I don't know about the long-term durability of it, because he paid about $1,400 for it, which was a couple months ago about the going price for one of those guns with the Echo 2 trigger. And man, I'm a believer, dude. I'd love to have one in every gun that I have. I just think they're awesome.
Yeah, I really like the Fostech.
Yeah.
The Fostech over Franklin, because Franklin doesn't have, at least as far as I know, maybe their newest version doesn't have an override mechanism for the bolt. So you can outrun the bolt with your trigger and end up with a dead trigger and a live round in the chamber.
Okay.
Versus the Echo, you can't do that. It doesn't let you.
Did yours take the Echo trigger when you first started using it in your air? Did it take a little bit of break in, or was it just you just have to learn the rhythm of the trigger pull? I think that's the big thing. People think you can just squeeze it super fast and it's just going to just fire as quick as you can pull the trigger. And that's not always the situation. You have to kind of learn when to let go, like where the reset is on it. Is that kind of what you've noticed about it?
Well, I've got a Franklin binary in my 22.
Okay.
That is true, right? And You have to have a rhythm to it, otherwise you will outrun it. With the Echo trigger, no, man, you just squeeze and release as fast or as slow as you want to go. And if you go too fast, the mechanism, it just skips a beat. Yep. That's all.
Yeah, we had a few issues with it, like when you switch back to semi-auto out of the Echo mode, the trigger was really hard to pull to get it to fire back in semi, and then it would almost like reset itself. We contacted the company and they said it could take some rounds for breaking because it was the complete gun. It wasn't just the trigger pack installed in any random AR. So it did take some time for that bolt to kind of wear in a little bit. But now that he's got it figured out, you'll just burn through 30 rounds like it's nobody's business. It's got the Faxon barrel on it, which I like their barrels, man. I mean, I'm not going to be a shill or fanboy or whatever, but it seems like a really good barrel. We heat the hell out of that thing. When you put a lot of rounds through it, it gets hot quick, and it does hold accuracy. It's really fun. So I do want to make a few videos with it. But if you ever get a chance, guys, pick up an Echo 2 trigger. They're awesome. If you've got the 223 to burn, right? I mean, that's the only or the 5.56 that you don't mind rushing through.
The great thing about the Echo trigger is you don't have to put it in Echo mode.
Yeah, no, you can.
And it's a pretty good trigger, like just regular semi-automatic trigger by itself.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good trigger.
And imagine the staying power that Echo trigger would have if you were getting rushed by a group of people. Say people are trying to rush your property or something. You open up with that, they're going to think you're firing a machine gun at them because that thing is it's just.
Dude, there's not much. There's honestly, there's not much difference between that and
pulling fast. I think it fires a lot quicker. I just think it's a lot faster. But
no, I'm saying like an M16 versus an AR with an Echo trigger. There's really not much difference.
There is though, because it is a separate pull for each movement of the action. Let's just go ahead and state that right now, because ATF that's watching or AFT that's watching, it's not a full auto conversion. So contrary to what you might think, right? And I know they got the approval of the ATF on the Echo 2 trigger, so the Echo triggers. So cool. The other one I just wanted to show off again, since we talked about this one last week, and it is a new gun that's going to be coming out in November. So like I said, the industry is going to start tempting us with new models to kind of catch our buying dollar as we go into the holidays, and then they'll get a lot of interest for people that are going to SHOT Show in January, where you're going to see the bulk of your videos popping out between January and March for a lot of these gun channels and stuff. They go show off the new models and so on. The other one I wanted to share with you real quick was this Diamondback Sidekick, which we talked about last week. So Honda, have you seen this yet? Are you familiar with the Diamondback Sidekick? Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so what we have here is a Western style single action, double action, 22 revolver that does have a traditional ejection in it. I don't believe you have to pull the pin out and pull the whole cylinder out. It does have a crane on it. And it does, let's see if we can get some pictures of it here. It's a 9-shot capacity, traditional swing out cylinder, single action, double action, Western style revolver, which other than these nasty looking grips, I would like to buy one. I mean, I really wanted a Ruger Wrangler really bad, but I just think something like this would be kind of fun. And it also comes with the 22 mag cylinder too. So you go 22 long rifle or 22 mag.
What do those go for?
MSRP 320. We're probably looking at 300. So that kind of fizzles it out for me because a Wrangler's $200, but it's also offering more features than a Ruger Wrangler or Heritage Rough Rider.
I have multiple Rough Riders, and I love the crap out of them, especially since you can get them on like Father's Day on sale for like $100.
Yeah.
It's like,
when they're not,
how
they're
can you
about
compete with
179. They're about 179 with a Magnum cylinder.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the most expensive one, it's still less than $200.
Yeah. Really, so you got 9 shots, and I like the traditional swing outs. You have to worry about having to pull out the pin and taking out the cylinder to empty the shells or use the rod to push the shells out. You can just open them up, dump them out, and put more in. So I think this with some wood grips would look really handsome. I think that would look really good. That'd be a nice kind of cowboy looking revolver, but you got the double action option too.
Wait, so that thing swings out? It doesn't have a loading gate?
No. It has a regular cylinder that actually comes out. Yeah, look, there it is right there.
Okay.
I want one. I'll just say it right now. I do want to buy one. I know a lot of people want to wait and see how they function and make sure they don't have timing issues and stuff because it is a new gun. And Diamondback, I don't know much about the company. I mean, I know they make some ARs and they made like the DB9 and stuff like that. So, but yeah, man, get some different grips on that thing. And I'm sure the aftermarket will definitely support it. Etsy or eBay, there's going to be a lot of different grip options that are out there. But I really do wish it had wood grips. For $320, it really should have wood grips on it. And that would be a major selling point for people. To me, I'm just being critical of it because I just don't like the black grips. I don't know. What do you think, Honda? What's your take?
I mean, I've had a bad experience with the DB9. First not working, and then falling apart, and it wasn't even my gun.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I kind of like watched it happen in front of me, and I'm like, ooh.
Here's the thing, you know, with this one, you could, I mean, we need to pick one up and just, you could easily do 1,000 rounds through it. I'm like, it might cost you a little bit of money, but I've got plenty of 22, or do 500 rounds on it or 300 rounds through it, see if it even holds up before it has any issues, see how well the trigger mechanism holds up. This would be a fun one to maybe torture test a little bit. And if it does hold up, I mean, it does offer some slight advantages over, you know, your Rough Rider or your Wrangler. So I don't know. I kind of like this one. This one's definitely got my attention.
You should come up with like a Travis P11 method of torture testing guns where you like dip them in peanut butter and do stuff to them or something.
Like,
you know,
like do what Mac does for Military Arms Channel, like make
Right.
a sundae out of Dunkin' ice cream and fudge and nuts and then shoot it on the range, you know? Hot fudge sundae torture test. That would go viral. Somebody's going to steal my idea. I shouldn't have even said that. Now that's gonna launch the next Hickok 45 channel. Some guy's going to sit in his backyard and hot fudge sundae up his handgun and shoot steel off in the distance on a hill. And he's going to get 1 million subs. I really am a genius sometimes. I just want to say it right now. So, oh, man. All right. Well, let's see what we got here for comments on the YouTube side. Sorry, guys. I've been neglecting you a little bit. What do we got there? Tara Smith says, I'm building an iron sight A2 clone, but I want it shorter and lighter. Any suggestions on barrel length? 10.5-inch barrel is a little bit unpleasant to shoot in a range situation. Out in the outdoors, it's a little bit better, but 10.5-inch barrel, there's a little more concussion that you're going to feel. You're going to lose some velocity. An iron sight A2 clone, I like the 14.5-inch barrel. I think it's really cool. It's kind of a nice compromise between the 10.5 and the 16. A little more mil spec, I guess you could say, in barrel length.
Dude, get a KE Arms polymer lower with the fixed stock on it.
Oh, there you go.
It's already got the look of the stock, and it's pretty light.
And that, I can't remember, is that a serialized part or not? It is. Okay. Do they do those as like an 80% option that you can hollow out or anything like that? Do you know?
I haven't seen any 80%ers, but
okay,
they are one of the cheapest options for just buying a lower with like a built lower, you know?
That'd be cool. Get something like that and then get your 14.5-inch upper on it. That'd look awesome. And I do like that Hera Arms furniture that you have on your AR. I always thought that was really cool. Kind of that FN style that you put on there. Kind of reminds me of like a Halo gun or something.
Oh, that's
looks so cool on an SBR when you put a stock on the rear. Yeah.
That is my Halo gun.
Yep. There you go. Let's see here. Calaver says, I understand wanting to get out of California due to tax and cost of living. As for 2A, a lot of California laws are spreading, so I don't think that running gets you away from it. Yeah, that's true. Tommy Gunn says, I own my father's mid-60s Ruger Bearcat Light. That's a great little handgun. Kyle Russ says, FRT 15 for the win. I'm not sure what you guys were debating earlier about that. I might need to look that one up.
You're not running away from the problems. You're abandoning the problems.
The problems aren't problems if you ignore them.
It's not about ignoring them. It's at a certain point, something becomes a lost cause. Better to put your resources somewhere else where they'll be useful.
Pretty solid point too. So it's interesting. And living in a situation like that, I don't know. I'd probably just have to move. But I mean, there's just sometimes it's jobs and you got your home and your family, and it's tough to just pick up and go, you know. But I don't know. Hex Adam 1 says everybody seems to be coming to Texas. Yeah. Hopefully it's not going to change the sentiment of the state about the firearms, you know, with new populations coming in and moving into high voter areas and stuff like that. So
I feel like a lot of the people who were leaving states like California or cities like New York and going to places like Texas realize and are not going to bring their politics with them.
Well, their neighbors aren't going to put up with it. They'll tell you to go to hell to your face, and they don't care, and they're not sensitive. Because it's
not
Texas,
to mention,
and, you know,
who are the people who are going to be moving out of those places. It's not the people who are happy with the way that things are going. It's the people who have been screwed over by the system or see how the tea leaves are settling or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Or they just want a lower cost of living and they're just done. They're done with the crowding. They're done with the issues you got to deal with and the politics. So I've got one last article for us to kind of buzz through real quick here, just showing off a few more guns. This is from OutdoorLife.com, and this is another article that I referenced back in, I think, January of last year, maybe December. So the B&T USA Station 6, there's been a lot of videos on this one on YouTube. This is the modern take on the World War II era well rod pistol. And I believe this one does have your suppressor on it. Yeah, see, it's got an internally suppressed pistol feature. $2,300. You can get it 9mm and 45 auto. It's cool to see something like this not in 22 LR. It always seems like guns like this come in 22 LR. So you got 9 and 45 auto options on this one. CZ P10S and FDE and OD green does have an optics cut on it. These are pretty cool. Again, a lot of people tend to forget about the CZ pistols. Not every dealer is going to carry CZ. I know our local Shields has a case full of them, so you've got a lot of options, and the prices are comparable to Glock, maybe a little bit less. So you got a lot of different options. Got some interchangeable back straps on it and stuff. The CZs that I fired when I went with Foos to the range were very nice, very smooth. You got the 43X MOS, so that's going to be your 43X with the optics cut on the top. Which again, I mean, some people, if you're Glock fans, that's going to be your bag. That's going to be your thing. We talked about the P50 earlier. We talked about the 509 LS, the Ruger American Competition. So Defense Dad and I were interested in this one. I've never seen one in stock before, and they're a little hard to find. This one's got a 5-inch barrel. I want to say it's maybe like a 17 or 18+1. You've got the porting. I don't know if it's just lightning cuts on the slides or if it actually has a ported barrel. You've got the fiber optic sights on it, full size frame. So this can be kind of comparable maybe to the PDP. And it says if you're thinking about competing in USPSA, IPSC, or IDPA matches but don't want to break the bank, it's the pistol you might want to do so with. MSRP of $580. So these are probably going to go for close to MSRP because, like I said, I haven't seen one on the shelves yet, but they've been out for quite a while.
Do those have an optics cut on them?
Yes. I believe there's one right back here. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. A lot of options. But, then again, I also bought my PDP, which would offer a similar package, but I do like the Ruger. I mean, I love Ruger pistols. Ruger
I was thinking about getting the Canic race gun because it's pretty cheap for what it is and stuff.
Yeah, I can't. What's that one called again? There's an acronym for it. I can't pronounce it.
The one that I was looking at was the TP9 SFX.
Like the SFX,
or yeah. I forget what it's called.
They've got a newer version of that just came out this year too. So yeah.
Oh geez.
I think it's called the MEV or MERV or something. We need to look it up. But there's a new one that's got even more features on it. And I had my TP9 SF and I loved it. It was a great gun, but it's just a little bulkier than what I wanted to carry. But still, it was a good gun. Very well built, very accurate.
It's a full size handgun.
Yeah, exactly. SAR 9 optics ready. So we talked about the SAR firearms before. If you want a nice budget option, this is something you can do. Got your X Legion, X Carry Legion, which is beautiful looking gun. Not sure what these cost. These are probably $700, maybe $800. Yeah, with threaded. You got the threaded barrel going on. You've got I don't know if that's an optics cut or just a adjustable rear sight only. But they don't give us any. Oh, we got some details on this one. Yeah. Okay, $999. The Springfield Armory Ronin 10mm. Yeah, Springfield makes some really nice looking 1911s, but again, a lot of people don't buy Springfield. The one that I tested was one that was just loaned to me for the channel, and I enjoyed it. It shot well. It was well built, but I did settle on a Ruger SR 1911 instead. It had the color combination that I was looking for, just the stainless with wood grips. Stogers are pretty cool, but I did watch the Honest Outlaws channel on his Stoger STR9 that he tested. Now they're $249 when you get the most basic model, very similar to a Glock 19 or very similar to like a Smith & Wesson SD9 VE. His broke after 500 rounds, and I don't know if Stoger ever contacted him. He's emailed them multiple times for service on the pistol. Basically, the trigger mechanism broke, and that I was kind of pushing to pick one of these up, and I got a buddy that was interested in one, and that's just one pistol. That's just one channel. I do like his channel, and I do trust his opinion on guns because he shoots the hell out of his guns. The 400 rounds, I mean, and not being able to get contact or service on it, that really bothers me. These are Turkish made, but Stoger is an American-based company. And they offer this as you can just get it with just a threaded barrel. You can get it with just an optics cut. They do make a compact version. And this is kind of their competition model, I guess you could say, with the flare magwell, the optics cut and the high sights, the suppressor height sights. And this one's like probably $399 or something. It's not, okay, now it says $550, but you can get the basic model for $249 and they pretty much go up from there. Me personally, I would probably buy a dagger when they offer those with an optics cut down the road, or just the suppressor ready dagger. That's the route that I would probably go, and just go PSA instead, because I think you're going to get better customer service. You guys got any thoughts on this one at all?
I don't like the weird looking suppressor sights on it. They're weird. They look weird.
Well, when you have a suppressor, it clears the suppressor, so you can still use your regular iron sights. But yeah, if you're not going to run a suppressor, it's almost like a compromise. But it also probably co-witnesses with the red dot. Also, it lines up with it too. So if your red dot would happen to fail, you've got your fiber sight on the front, your rear that you can use. So I'm not sure on that one if it's going to. It's probably going to depend on the height of your sight also, whether or not it's going to co-witness. There you go, Honda. Nighthawk VIP Agent 2. You've got those ivory tusk grips going on there. You've got, yeah. Well, that's an Agency Arms Edition Nighthawk. These are probably, what, 6,000, 7,000? What are we looking at here? 8,500, my bad. I'm underpricing these so much. There you go. So this one also came out last year, too. Haven't seen any tests on it.
That's a lot of money for a 1911.
Yeah, I mean, you get that custom experience when you buy one, and I'm not going to knock you. If you want to buy one, man, you go right ahead. But
if I can't drive it and it costs that much money,
that'd be a good down payment on a truck. That's all I got to say. That's yeah.
Well, I was looking at like I was saying, the CZ Scorpion with the binary trigger and all that, and the nice red dot, and I priced it all out, and then I realized, like, my son's 15 years old now, my oldest son. I can get him a car for the price of that one gun.
What, $2,500? How much is it? $2,000?
It was like right at about $2,000, all said and done with everything.
A nice old Camry for that kind of price, man.
Yeah, you can get a used Camry.
And the best part is you can get him out of the house with the Camry too. Once he has a car, he can start his life, and then you'll have more money for guns,
and
right?
make him do things like, hey, go to the grocery store and buy some milk because we're out of it. Or
exactly. To send your son than doing Grubhub, right? Son, here's $2 for your tip. Go get my meal up at Red Robin, and bring it back,
Plus, you remember when you first got a car, right? Like you were excited to go to the store, like, and do something.
Oh yeah, run errands for mom and dad. It's like, yeah, I'll go get your.
You were happy to do it.
No problem. I'll go get your smokes. Mom would send me with a letter, and I'd go pick up her cigarettes and say, hey, my son has permission to buy my cigarettes, and the store would sell them to me. I'd take them back to mom. So, yeah. Boy, the 80s were great, weren't they? I don't know. M&P 1522 pistol. Okay, so you got the pistol version of the M&P 22 that's out. I wouldn't say it's revolutionary, but it's cool they offer that option. So that's something that you can definitely pick yourself up if you want to. Not sure about MSRP on that one. Those are around, what, $500, I think, if you get one. 5 to 6 for a full-size M&P.
I think the pistols with the brace on it are going for like $6.
Okay, and this is a much better deal than going with some of the other brands. You've got a nice, more manual of arms that's closer to like an actual AR-15 in terms of build quality and operation. And I'd go this route because I believe you've got the aluminum lower and you've got the aluminum upper, metal upper. You're going to have minimal plastic on this compared to, say, like the Mossberg version of something like this.
Do you know if those take regular AR triggers?
Oh, that is a good question. It could. Let's see here. See if they mention anything about it at all. It looks
like it has the same pins.
Mil-spec pins in it. Yeah. And it probably uses a hammer. Like, it might even just use like a hammer fire mechanism, but it's more adapted to the 22 LR. I would think it could. And the only reason why I say that is my Rossi RS-22, the trigger pack on that looks like it's straight out of an AR-15. I'd hate to say it, but it's got a basic hammer that cocks with springs on it and stuff, and it looks like an AR-15 trigger pack. So who knows, man? It might be compatible because it's a full size lower. I think it's the same size as a regular AR-15. It's gonna be a little bit more proprietary because it's the 22 adaptation, but still, that's a good question, man. That'd be cool. Put an echo in that. We talked about the Taurus already. The Uberti cowboy guns. Oh yeah, there you go. Always nice to have a good revolver. The Uberti Teddy. This was the recreation of Teddy Roosevelt's revolver. These are 1250 is what we're looking at. There you go. And that ends that one. So I don't know. You guys got any other firearms out there that you're interested in looking at, or anything else kind of tempting you a little bit?
No, I pretty much have everything I need.
Like I said, I'm gonna be, if my channel makes it to 50,000 subscribers, if we don't get shut down, I'm gonna give away an AR, which means I'm gonna have a spot in the safe for another AR. So I'm looking at going with something a little more high end. I don't know why, because I don't know if it's necessarily offering me much more than something I could build or buy myself. There's a couple that really I really like the Daniel Defense M4A1. I just think it's a tough looking AR. But at $2,000, again, Honda, I could go buy a used car. And I really would love to get one of the FN military collectors editions, M4s or their M16. But those are $1,600, $1,700. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll just kind of wait for now. But
dude, it's hard to justify spending a bunch of money on an AR-15 when there's places like Palmetto State Armory or Delta Team Tactical or whatever out there, you know?
And I mean, I've had, and, you know, I do a lot of Bear Creek stuff, and I've had issues with my Bear Creek rifles. I mean, anything can fail. You know, there's, even though they sent me uppers, I've had issues on camera or cycling and stuff like that. And so I'm not saying that something like that couldn't happen with a higher end gun, not that they're even better, but there's just, I'm kind of at a point where it's like, I want to get something fun that's just kind of neat, that's, you know, kind of unfortunately pricey. Love to get an Noveski N4 Diplomat, but they're $3,500. So I don't know. Let's see here. So Defense Dad says, Travis, show the Thompson color case hard 1911 to brighten everyone's day. All right, so let's go over to, I'll bring up Thompson Arms real quick here, and we'll see what this thing looks like. This is the one that Defense Dad wants to buy. These are about $1,000. Is it going to be under Thompson Center Arms? I think so. Let's bring this up real quick here, and then we'll show it off. There's your rifles. I'll share the screen here in just a moment, guys. Let's just go ahead and type it in here, and we'll bring it up faster. Thompson 1911 color case hardened. Yeah. Whenever you do any kind of color case hardening on a firearm, it just immediately gets my attention. So, all right, let's go ahead and show this off real quick. So Defense Dad, we're going to do some gun porn for you here. So we're going to go ahead and show off like an entire page of color case hardened Thompson 1911s. And again, these run about $1,000. So let's see here. There we go. There you go, guys. Oh, they do a color case hardened Tommy gun. Oh my God, that'd be sweet. There you go. Hello, beautiful. All right, there we go. Anna, what's your take? What do you guys think? Squib, what's your take?
Could you do that with a blowtorch and a Remington?
I'm kind of curious if you couldn't just send your 1911 in, if it'd be possible, or if it would mess with the metal, or if you had this done on the gun. I guess, you know, certain metals that they use on certain parts might not hold up to the heat treating. Like maybe if you've got some MIM going on with your 1911. Say I want to send in my Ruger SR 1911 and get it color case hardened. It probably has to happen at the time of manufacture, I'm guessing, because you might compromise some of the strength of the metal parts. So this is showing 1432.
I do like the look of color case hardening, but it's usually expensiver.
Well, and I have mine on my Henry 3030. I got that with the octagonal barrel, and it's cool. But I mean, I think I paid probably about a $200 premium to get that particular barrel and finish versus the non, just to get versus the regular blued. And mine has like almost like a tiger stripe look to it. It doesn't have kind of this splotchy, you know, color case hardened finish, which is what I was kind of hoping it would have. It has more like a tiger stripe where you can see they went over it with the blowtorch or the chemicals when they treated it. So. Yeah, it's a great looking rifle, and I love it. I'm never going to get rid of it, but again, it's cool. I like it. I like that traditional kind of patina that it gives it. So, X Adam 1 says case hardened looks like somebody didn't care if their gun and let it get rusted. Oh yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the antique-y look to it. X Adam 1 says get an F1 Firearms AR. You know, I'm interested in that. I followed them on Instagram, and it seems like they showed everything other than AR-15s on their Instagram channel. I was always interested in what they make. I need to look into them though. So I'm looking at going $1,500 to $2,000. You know,
isn't F1 the gun the company that makes who is it Demolition Ranch's like stuff?
Probably. I know they're very high end, and they kind of came out as being a premium AR builder when they first got started. But I've never seen, I don't know if I've ever seen any of their guns on the shelves before. They might have some over at Shields, but I know they're pricey because I've seen the parts and stuff that they sell, and I'll have to check into those guys there. Fluffy 10 millimeter Jeep guy says, I just got a Bear Creek complete 20-inch upper, 223 Wild, side charger, Gen 2 side charger. That was a good choice. Hopefully I don't have any problems. Just make sure it's clean before you take it out. What happened on my stepdad's is we took it out last weekend or 2 weeks ago. And he's got a 762 by 39, 16-inch rear charging upper. We were 25, 30 rounds in, and the pin that holds the gas tube in place failed, and the gas tube blew itself kind of forward a little bit, and it quit cycling, and we didn't know what happened. We didn't even hear it or really notice it when we were shooting it. And I mean, I've had that issue before. I've also had a gas block come loose on my 300 blackout pistol. And then the 7.62 by 39, if you guys ever get those in an upper, enhanced firing pin, definitely going to be necessary. I highly recommend you go that route, especially if you want to shoot steel case ammo. And then we also upgraded the springs to Wolf spring. And so when it had trouble cycling, we're like, what's going on? We got the enhanced firing pin and the spring, and we're still having issues. And it turns out the gas tube had pushed itself forward about 4 inches and was just kind of sitting out of the front of the gas block. So really that pin that holds a gas tube in place, that's unacceptable and should not happen. But maybe it was built on a Friday at 4 o'clock. I don't know. So he did send it in for repair. They were very good about the customer service, and it was not given to us. It was one that he bought outright. He was going as a regular customer. They sent him the label, or he printed off the label and he sent it back in for repair. Hopefully after that, it doesn't have an issue. But after I got mine back, I've never had a problem with them. But I've also got 4 or 5 Bear Creeks that have never had a problem. So they make so many uppers that it just happens. And I doubt they test fire them before they leave the factory, especially now because of the volume that they deal in. So, yeah. I did see we had Ghost join us. Ghost Tactical's out there watching also. Okay, X Adam 1. Hey, Honda. X Adam 1 says they do take regular AR triggers. He says that he put a CMC drop and trigger in his. So there you go, man.
1022. I'm sorry. The what is it? 1522 with an echo trigger. That would be cool.
That would be fun. There you go, man. Got to test it out. MZ says, have you guys looked at the price of used cars right now? Yeah, MZ, I'm totally a car guy, and I know used car prices some of them are selling. If they're 1 or 2 years old with like 30,000 miles, they're turning around and reselling them for their sticker price again. Even just inexpensive used vehicles, like especially once they are vintage or early 90s, like certain SUVs, they just prices skyrocket because suddenly they become collector's items on YouTube videos, you know? And, but I mean, I can still go get a $2,500 used car at a lot of lots in the city where I live. I mean, you can get them, but you're going to have high miles and may have some issues and stuff. But
dude, I've been looking at minivans because no one wants a minivan.
Yeah, I mean, we would take them on school trips and stuff for my job, and they're just comfortable. You could throw stuff in them and just go. You can pick up, I mean, I don't know about reliability, but an old Chrysler Town and Country, if you can get one with lower miles on it that's been maintained, you can maybe get, 50, 60,000 miles out of it without any issues, if you get one with less than 100,000 on it.
Dude, I was looking at
Travis. Are you the official Gun Channel's soccer mom then, or what?
No, I'm just saying a cheap minivan's a nice thing to have when you got a whole lot of stuff around. I mean, not at all. Me personally, I would never buy or drive a minivan, but I've driven them and I've hauled stuff in them and they're comfortable. I guess I'm coming from driving a Jeep Cherokee Sport for like 13 years and having a lumber wagon ride for 13 years. And then you drive one of those and it's like, this is comfortable and you get good mileage and you can haul all your stuff in it. No, I will never become a soccer mom. Although I do drive a compact
wagon.
SUV, so what's that?
A buckboard wagon is comfortable compared to those old, XJs.
Oh yeah, probably. Now, when I put new leaf springs and new shocks on mine, it rode a lot better. But just having that, and then you go into something a little more civilized, and it's like, oh, this is so nice. So I got kind of jealous after a while when I drive those things. But I'm looking at a pickup truck at some point too. So not that I want to make this a car chat, but I would like to buy a truck as soon as I get the Kona paid off this spring. Maybe trade the Kona in, and then I just got the Kona because I wanted all-wheel drive. I wanted a new car with a good warranty. The Hyundai dealer is 2 blocks away, and I wanted good mileage. Oh, and airbags are nice to have and traction control. Those things I didn't have on my Jeep. So things like that you kind of look forward to surviving a crash. But anyway, all right. So guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I think we'll go ahead and call it. We'll give a little shout out to the YouTube side and all those people that joined in. Before we go ahead and go, because I got to go to the range. I got a range day ahead of me and lots of fun stuff going on. We'll go ahead and let the panel go ahead and give themselves their final plugs, and we'll go from there. So Honda, since you're a guest and we don't see you that often, we're going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and plug your channel, your shows. What do you want to say, man? What's up?
Well, thanks, Travis. Yeah, I do 2 shows a week. We do Late Night with Honda on Saturday night. That'll be later tonight, where we basically get drunk and talk about the world. And then I also do the Gay Frog Chat every Sunday, where we go chin deep into a different conspiracy. So yeah, check out my channel if you haven't. I'm sure most people out there probably have heard of me, but if you haven't, we do have fun, and come on by.
What's funny is I pretty much substituted all of my television watching that I used to do with just podcasts, you guys, you and Matt and everybody else, and like just series on YouTube. I really don't even watch. I don't even have a Netflix subscription or Hulu or Disney Plus. I don't have any of that stuff. And I just watch content with you guys because it's always entertaining to listen to. It's always something fresh and new, and you guys put on great shows and they're fun to listen to. And like to listen to the early watch. Tony's not with us right now, but the early watch show is a good one to definitely check out too. Single Shot, I have no idea that you were waiting in the lobby. Nobody told me. I'm sorry, man. We're putting our plugs in right now, so I do apologize. I was scrolling web pages and I didn't have us opened up on this side. So Single Shot, you want to go ahead and say something before we call it? You got any final words you want to give us?
Yeah, thanks for the well wishes, guys. I much appreciated. Yeah. And I had to jump because I had a phone call come in and I had to take it. So
okay, well, you hang in there, man, and you'll heal over time. You know, it sucks when we lose family members, and you're a strong guy, and I think you can definitely, you'll definitely weather the storm. But we're all thinking about you, man. If you need somebody to talk to or you need anything, you just give us a holler, okay?
I will do that. I appreciate it. Like I said.
Cool, man. Yep.
I'm going to try to do something with the channel.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know when.
Trips to the range can be very therapeutic. They're a good way to go out there and just kind of forget about the world's problems and just shoot for a little while and just kind of have fun and just enjoy yourself, take in the nature and the air and
Well, I've got a few of Dad's guns that I plan on putting on the bench and putting some rounds from them. I'll probably do a video or two on those. But just when you guys subscribe, just click the notifications so that you do see when I post new vids.
So Single Shot's channel, it's single space shot ! Because there's a lot of single shots whenever you do a search on YouTube for those videos. And you'll find his channel. You see this big burly looking dude with a big old beard, and you know you're on the right channel when you get there. So yeah. Right on, man.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate the invite.
No problem, man. I'm sorry I missed you there for the last. I hope you weren't waiting very long.
That's okay.
But,
no problem.
We'll get you on next week. You're always coming back next week. So, all right. Calaveras 32 special. Anything you want to say before we go? Aside from the fact that I'm now a soccer mom because I like to drive minivans, but
I'm always here to stir the pot. That's where I appreciate you letting me on. I know I've missed quite a few shows. That's for I had other priorities. I had a deer tag to fill. So
absolutely. I expect you to be out there. I don't want you here. You need to be there.
And now he's got to film a bear tag before the end of the year.
There you go. Make a nice rug. Get your rug going on. Get your rug skin. Can you sell the hide or are you going to keep it? What's the plans?
Well, depending on how badly tore up it is. The last bear I got took 4 high-powered rifle rounds to bring it down, so it had a lot of holes.
Wow. Okay.
Well, after I guess high-powered, is relative because it was 2 308s and 2 270s to bring it down. But that's for appreciate letting me on. I'm actually going to be hitting the range myself here later on today. Doing some a short training class, so that should be fun. And that's for between now and then. I've got yard work to take care of.
Yeah.
So fun stuff.
Get her done, man. It's all fun of being a homeowner, right?
I rent.
Oh, never mind. Okay, well, living in a house and having to care for the yard. So there you go. All right, man. Well, thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Squibload, any final words of wisdom before we go?
Yeah. I sent you an email with something I'd like you to screen share, but if you can't open it up because you got too many windows open, then no big deal, I guess.
Okay. No, we can show this off. I got the tab on standby here. Is that gonna?
All right. I didn't know.
It's not gonna show up anything important, I don't think. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and show this real quick. We'll share the screen here. So this is your little plug, right? This is what we got.
Yeah, I'm gonna shield for R&L displays. I mean, I should do something, right? Yeah. So he's at the Rod of Iron Freedom Festival in Greeley, Pennsylvania, today and tomorrow. If you haven't gone and you're within driving distance of Eastern Pennsylvania, I'd recommend going. It's a really it's kind of got a little bit of everything. There's 2A activism. There's firearms. There's vendors selling all kinds of things. They've got some classes. They've got a store there that you can buy things, and they will take you down to their range and let you shoot guns on their range. It's on private property, so as far as I remember, you can open carry. And there's just a bunch of other like-minded people out there as far as being pro-Second Amendment or pro-firearm. It is a little bit out of the way. I got to admit, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. If you actually use Google Maps and type in Tommy Gun Warehouse, that's the name of the building that sits on the property, it'll give you directions to get there. And it is a little bit off the beaten path, but it's worth the trip. I tried to align the stars to get it to happen today, but it just didn't. So unfortunately, I can't be there today, but I really wanted to go. There's always next year. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is something that kind of turns into the get-together for the gun tubers on the East Coast. Maybe if we get the word out, I don't think enough people know about this sort of thing. There's other events that go on. I mean, everybody knows about SHOT Show and NRAM, but all the other stuff doesn't seem to get as much publicity, and it's unfortunate because for some of us, we are geographically displaced. We all can't, be here or be there at the same time or whatnot. So the more things we have to go to, the more things that we can, collaborate at, or just in general, get to meet other people and learn about other things going on in the Second Amendment culture. I think it's good for all of us out there. So Rod of Iron Freedom Festival is free to go to. You do have to register. You can do it online, or they have a tent there when you first get there. They just hand you a tablet and you register. I don't know why you register. I never did figure that out, but it doesn't cost anything, and they're not like asking for your firstborn or your social security number or any of that garbage. So
that could be insurance.
Yeah,
maybe insurance reasons or something, but yeah.
That might have been the reason why. I asked. I just don't remember what the guy said, or he couldn't answer me, or at the time, or I just don't remember. But insurance that makes total sense.
And as you can see, we've also got, looks like he's got some pistol options now from RNL Displays. Is that right? Looks like you can do more than just your AR. You can put a Glock? Is it Glock displays or what?
The Glock thing going, or the PCC carbine there thing going, I think, because it takes Glock mags, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I've been trying to pressure him to do the AR or the AK thing. I've been trying to work with him and pressure him.
I'm waiting for one because I've got an AK and I'd love to, it'd be great to be able to display the AKs in the background too. So
get the stand to match the wood furniture on your AK, and that.
Ooh, Russian red or yeah.
You see where I'm going with that. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
If anybody else out there is interested in an AK stand, send him a message, email him, pressure him. We will twist his arm until he does it. So
yeah, RNL Displays, if you make an AK stand, I will buy one. I'll buy one. I'll buy one straight out. So do make one, because I'd love to display my AK, because otherwise I have to kind of put it in like the lead sled, or put a bipod on it. So it'd be cool to have a nice little stand in the background that matches everything else. So it'd be kind of ironic having the American flag in the background with an AK underneath of it, but real quick, before I forget, so this is something that Defense Dad, this was his idea, and we've been talking about this. We're looking at hosting a shooting event in Nebraska at a range that we have that's just south of Lincoln, Nebraska. And it would be a really cool event. We're possibly looking at hosting some classes, some shooting classes. We do have an opportunity for quarters for people to stay in, for some sort of overnight option for people where you can stay if you could get yourself a hotel room. And that's actually at the range. They've got a full facility for guests and stuff and visitors to the range. So we're looking at doing this. And so if we put this out there, it would be open to the public. Obviously, we're going to invite all of our YouTube friends. I mean, if you wanted to come out and film, you can. It's not an issue. But we're going to host there's going to be obviously instructors and stuff, maybe a shooting day. Have a chance to come on out there and do some shooting with all of us, and then go out that night for a meal. And the next day, if anybody wanted to join us maybe at our other range, you can come with us, or head out. You can head out if you want to just come up for the weekend and have a good weekend. We're looking at doing this in June, the first weekend in June, if I'm not mistaken. We're trying to get it before the 4th of July, but maybe after school gets out for a lot of people. So if you're parents, it's easier for you to make the trip out. So we're looking at doing this, and the cost would be fair to do it. I mean, we're not doing this for profit at all. All the money that comes into it is going to the range for the fee for that day and the class instruction. It would be, we're just going to try to say under $100. We're hoping for like $50 to $60, and you can come out and shoot for the day. Obviously, it's going to be your own ammunition, but you could shoot 22 LR if you want to. There's a lot of different types of scenarios that you get to shoot through. It's really cool. The instructor hosts a lot of classes and does a really good job. My wife took their concealed carry courses, and did really enjoy them. My whole family went through their range for the concealed carry instruction. The instructors are very high quality, and the drills that they run and stuff, it's really a good time. So if that's something you're interested in, we'll be posting more details about it over on Defense Dad's and my Facebook page, and we'll make videos about it and let everybody know about it. So we're looking at doing a shooting day this June. It'll be really nice. School's going to be out for me, and it's going to be a good time. So that's something that's going to be coming down the road to think about. And if you guys have absolutely no ammo and can't get it, I mean, I can work with you to help you get you a couple hundred rounds. And, I can get it for you for whatever cost it's going to cost me. If anybody can't get 9, I mean, at our local sporting goods store, there is tons of ammunition on the shelves, all calibers. I mean, they got everything. So it's just people don't want to pay those prices, unfortunately. But if you want the ammo to come shoot, we can definitely make it work for you, because I'm going to have people say, well, I'd go, but I can't get ammo. Well, we'll get you ammo. That's not a problem. Jeez, man, you should want to come out here and hang out with us. So anyway, that's something we're looking at. Otherwise, I think we let everybody on the panel say what they wanted to say. And again, shout out to SS Pond for sponsoring today's episode of Caliber Corner. Shout out to rnldisplays.com. I did have their address on the bottom of the screen for a while there. And if you guys want to get yourself a nice piece of furniture to display your furniture, your AR, right, your firearm, your freedom, you can definitely contact those guys, and they will take care of you. Otherwise, I think that's about it. I'm going to go to the range. I'm going to go take the Setme C308 out. If you are a patron of mine, you'll get to see that footage early before everybody else. I'm just going to see how well it runs. It's already been cleaned. It's ready to go. We're just going to see how well what kind of grouping it puts down range, and just kind of have some fun today. So I'm going to go enjoy the range. But otherwise, guys, I think that's about it. So have fun, be safe. Hope to see everybody back here next Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Time. Thank you, everybody, for watching and for your feedback. Anybody want to chime in? Oh, Honda, did we give you a chance to say goodbye? I think we did, didn't we? You're good? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. So, all right.
I did have one closing thought.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah.
And it's brought up by the gun-toting pacifist name itself. And this, I don't know how you guys feel about the Bible or whatever, but there's this line that never made sense to me. Mm-hmm. The meek shall inherit the earth. And it turns out that this is mistranslated.
Yes, I was just going to say it was a mistranslation. It's been used to manipulate people, possibly. I don't know.
The correct translation is, those who have swords and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed, will inherit the earth. And what is the 21st century version of a sword?
I think it's sitting behind me right here, maybe.
There you
go. Know. I mean, I've got a couple of them in the safe, I do need to get a real sword, though. I don't have one, so yeah. That's something to think about, isn't it? Yep. Exactly. All right. Okay, guys, so I think we'll go ahead and let her go. Let's give a little shout out to the YouTube side to see who joined us today. We got Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy, Tommy Gun, Hypo Drake out there, Gun-Toting Pacifist, Defense Dad with us today. Foos was also with us, so thank you guys for joining us. Calaveras 32 Special pulling double duty. G23 in the house. G23, are you doing a show later on today? Try to get us a comment in there if you can. And I think Rick's Life as I See It should be on this afternoon too, so make sure you check it out. Go subscribe to those channels. Kevin June joining in as usual. MZ's out there also. X Adam 1 in the house. A lot of people joining in. Ghost Tactical watching today. Ozzy Osbourne with us. Kyle Rust out there too. New York Outcast in the house. Tara Smith watching today. We also had tacos and French fries earlier. M. Gabriel was the first person to check in. Vincent Garzone's out there also. Cool. Welcome to the show, sir. Hopefully didn't miss anybody. AWAG 1000 watching with us today too. Salvatore was watching today. Also Mario Mosen joining in. We had a big crowd today. So again, and Fiend Dog 27. So we covered a little bit of what's coming out this year. There's a couple guns we were promised that didn't come out yet. And we did get a chance to kind of take a look at what was announced and what did come out for this year. We have a lot of different options for us this year that have come out. Trying to keep up with all the text messages coming in. So anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the show. This has been Caliber Corner episode, 205, 206, season 4. You guys have fun, be safe, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, Alicia.